Yeah, well, HTM has definitely claimed a lot of big tournament titles. The World Championship title is being held right now by Savage Elite with 4 of their 5 original members.
Halo, what's up guys? Apa khabar?
Finland last year under the name Clash Champs. Now they play under the
Apa khabar?
Savage Elite. We'll see what they can do for us, but this is a monster team here and they've adapted this meta very well. They've been
hari kedua untuk World Championship Qualifier bulan 5. Dan jangan lupa tekan butang like tu guys. Okay, semalam kita nampak ada 2 tim tersingkir iaitu Elok dan juga tim warna hijau MMG. Jadi untuk hari ini kita akan lihat perlawanan yang berbaki 4 pasukan sahaja. Dan untuk perlawanan pertama kita akan lihat HTM lawan dengan Savage Elite. Nampak gayanya ini adalah rematch untuk kedua-dua tim ini. Jadi agak-agak siapa menang guys. Semalam HTM Esport menang, Savage Elite kalah. Okey, dalam apa bracket. Jadi diorang bertembung di lower bracket sekali lagi. Untuk kali ini punya qualifier. Jadi agak-agak kurang siapakah yang akan menang kali ini dan akan stay dalam qualifier bulan 5 ni guys. Malam ni kita akan lihat siapakah yang menang dan dapat golden ticket yang kedua untuk World Qualifier. Jadi kalau korang belum follow, tekan butang follow guys. Untuk tak terlepas casting bahasa Melayu untuk World Championship ni. Okay. Jadi kita ada first match yang akan berlangsung sebentar lagi. Adakah sound engine kuat? Saya harap sound live ni tak begitu kuat. Maksud saya bahasa Inggeris tidak begitu kuat supaya saya boleh casting dan tak terganggu casting bahasa Melayu saya. Okey. Jadi saya minta feedback daripada korang yang mana bermasuk tu. Dan ini dia, kita ada Nick untuk penyerang pertama HTM Esports. Kita ada Nick di mana semalam Nick membuat serangan pantas untuk kedua-dua perlawanan yang mereka main semalam. Jadi hari ini adakah Nick akan perform lagi ataupun Nick akan terceduk? Kita akan lihat. Okey je, kemantapan. Hari ini kita mulakan serangan pertama daripada Nick dengan combo naga yang dipilih oleh beliau. Masih lagi menggunakan naga. Jadi mulakan queen di kawasan bawah, terus gunakan Jenero untuk dapatkan nice sweeper itu mantap sekali dan terus dimulakan naga daripada arah kanan sekarang ini. Meta Blade akan terus menuju ke arah Town Hall dengan satu close spell akan digunakan oleh beliau. Dengan water ability terus digunakan sekarang ini untuk selamatkan Battle Blade dan juga Balloon dan naga yang masuk bahagian tengah untuk dapatkan monolith. Oh, jumpa tornado trap. Keluarkan glow spell dan freeze untuk Town Hall dan scatter shot supaya tidak dipecahkan awal beliau punya Balloon. Oh, sayang sekali tak boleh dapatkan scatter shot sekurang-kurangnya. Dapat Town Hall. Dan dia perlu freeze air sweeper supaya scatter shot dapat diambil oleh naga yang ada di kawasan tengah. Dengan king dilepaskan di kawasan kanan sekarang ni. Royal Champion masih belum diletakkan lagi. Clan Cancer telah pun dimusnahkan, jadi beliau tidak perlu risau tentang isi Clan Cancer yang akan mengganggu beliau punya hero. Dan terus digunakan king ability di kawasan kanan dengan Royal Champion terus dimasukkan di kawasan Eagle untuk dapatkan kill defensive dengan score barrier yang dilepaskan oleh beliau. Dan Royal Champion ability terus digunakan sekarang ini. Dan masa telah pun berlalu sebanyak 1 minit 15 saat sekurang-kurangnya. Jadi beliau cuba target untuk dapatkan 3 bintang di bawah 1 minit setengah. Dan Nick berjaya untuk dapatkan 3 bintang. Tapi adakah cukup 10 saat untuk 1 minit setengah? Yup, Nick dapat 1 minit 26 saat. Terima kasih Davis for the follow. Mantap sekali. Jadi Nick 3 bintang kemantapan untuk HTM Esports.
average attack times in the 1 minute and 20 second to 1 minute and 30 second
Selamat semua, apa khabar?
A
What's up?
126 strike from Nick is nothing to be too terrified of.
Jadi kita ada 500 yang mata memandang sekarang ni, korang mak kemantapan. Dan kita ada hampir 100 viewer di YT. Sungguh kemantapan pada malam ini. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for the support. Dan sekarang ni kita ada Fato pula dah. Sorry dah ingat Fatin. Paling mana betul Fatin. Kita ada Pato untuk Savage Elite. Pato semalam gagal untuk dapatkan kemenangan untuk Savage Elite, tapi diharapkan kali ini beliau terlepas air defense. Adakah itu yang beliau inginkan ataupun bagaimana? Saya rasa beliau perlu dapatkan air defense tu sebenarnya untuk memudahkan naga beliau untuk tidak mati awal. Tapi sekarang ni beliau gunakan sisi barret di kawasan bawah dengan overgrowth untuk Town Hall. Dan naga beliau ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8 headhunter mungkin mengejar King. Dibantu oleh Queen di situ dan King hala diracun seperti MU memelahankan pergerakan Haaland dalam FA Cup semalam. Jadi Haaland sedikit tercedok di kawasan kanan sekarang ini. Walau bagaimanapun naga beliau dia dapatkan value yang agak baik di bahagian tengah. Dan sekarang ni freeze untuk Air Sweeper. 2 lagi freeze akan digunakan di kawasan Town Hall. Jadi Royal Champion telah boleh masukkan di kawasan kiri sekarang ini. Dengan baki 2 free spell, adakah Royal Champion akan mampu terdapatkan Town Hall dengan adanya Warden Statue yang telah menyerang beliau dan mengurangkan banyak nyawa Royal Champion. Royal Champion terus digunakan. Freeze Town Hall sekarang ni tak dapat kena mati Edge Tower, tapi sekurang-kurangnya ada lagi satu free spell untuk Freeze Town Hall dan 3 bintang dalam masa 1 minit 27 saat untuk Pato. Mantap sekali. Ya, Pato membaku di kamera. Jadi selamat datang, apa khabar semua. Dan sekarang kita akan lihat serangan kedua untuk kedua-dua tim ini. Jadi kita ada Muhammad Salah. Salah Marawi. Muhammad Marawi untuk HTM Esport. Jadi Muhammad Marawi untuk gadis-gadis mungkin akan minat. Mungkin akan minat dengan Muhammad Marawi ni. Sebab kat gambar ni nampak macam biasa, tapi kat webcam nanti mesti nampak handsome. Percaya. Okay. Jadi kita akan lihat untuk gegel-gegel yang baru masuk ataupun terlalu live-nya di FYP anda, stay tune tengok muka Marawi macam mana. Kita ada Syamin, thank you for the follow. Kemantapan. Jadi Muhammad Marawi untuk HTM Esport. Bukan sorry. Saya ingat masalah tadi sebab rambut dia macam nak kalah masalah tu, tapi saya salah. Sorry ya. Jadilah kan. Jadi guys. Thank you Mak Sudu Hadi. Sudu pula. Mak jadi Sudu sekarang ni. Daripada Mak asli jadi Mak Sudu. Memang kesuduan lah. Hari ni naga-naga pula rasanya akan ada Road Rider juga. Bila nak attacknya, tak tahulah production tengah tidur kot rasanya. Rasanya dia dah attack dah ni. Rasanya dia dah attack dah. Tapi production tengah tidur ni. Production tolong orang tengok live ni. Aku tahu attack dah separuh jalan lah. Oi, aduh, sorry lah gadis-gadis yang tersangkut dengan umpaman saya. Tak guys. Ini dia Muhammad Marawi seperti yang saya kata, di webcam tidak seperti di gambar beliau. Nampak dengan dada beliau yang begitu mantap di situ. Dengan kulit putih-putih Arab yang gebu-gebu. Mesti anda minat kan. Bukan seperti saya yang hitam seperti pipi saya. Jadi itulah dia Marawi. Lepas ni saya akan contact Marawi untuk back in sekurang-kurang 500 kot untuk hasil-hasil pujian yang saya berikan kepada beliau. Jadi ya, ini baka-baka kegilaan gadis-gadis Melayu ni kan, betul tak? Jadi Root Rider digunakan oleh Marawi dengan overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall sekarang ini. Dan kita ada Phoenix yang cuba mengejar Lava House sebentar tadi, dan Kui dapatkan Lava House. Sekarang dipecah menjadi Lava Pub. Race pada lepaskan di kawasan bawah. Tidak ada race lagi untuk digunakan sekarang. Dengan hanya satu free spell sahaja untuk Marawi yang berbaki Royal Champion Ability yang sudah berada di kawasan atas sekarang ni bersama dengan beberapa Root Rider. Jadi sekarang ni free spell akan digunakan di kawasan tengah untuk membuka Town Hall. Ada PK, ada Valkyrie, ada Root Rider. Dan Royal Champion akan dapatkan Multi Inferno. Dan PK dapat Town Hall, mantap sekali. Dan itu dia, Abang Handsome kita boleh dapatkan 3 bintang di bawah 1 minit setengah. 1 minit 20. 27 saat, 27 saya rasa. Jadi itu dia, 3 bintang kemantapan untuk STM Esport. 1 minit 27 saat. Dia ada mix Korean kan? Tak, dia ada mix apa ni? Pantai Timur. Truk paling skill player boleh guna. Memang lah kan, dekat muka sini muka semua pro player. Mana ada muka noob player? Kalau tak pro tak masuk tournament kan? Memang lah. Guna truk lain tapi tak dapat 3 bintang, noob juga. Pakai Malaysia tak masuk ke? Tak ada bang, sebab ini World Qualifier bang. Ni bukan region punya Qualifier. Susah nak lepas. Sangat-sangat susah nak lepas. Jadi itu dia, Kui lepaskan di kawasan kanan. Tepat di bucu kanan dan terus digunakan Giant Arrow untuk dapatkan Air Sweeper di kawasan tengah. Dan yang beliau gunakan berada di kawasan atas untuk masuk dengan Warden beliau. Dan King di kawasan bawah mungkin ataupun bagaimana. Yup, King di kawasan bawah bersama dengan Queen. Head untuk dapatkan Queen defensif. Wallbreaker untuk masukkan King. Wallbreaker untuk Queen masuk dalam. Dan jump spell untuk King dapatkan Monolith. Dengan Archer dan Ice Golem keluar di situ. Terus gunakan King ability. Poison untuk Ice Golem. Race spell dengan Warden ability iaitu Healing Tome digunakan untuk Rider beliau. Town Hall telah pun diaktifkan sekarang ini. Tidak ada overgrowth spell untuk digunakan. Race spell di kawasan tengah. Root Rider tidak masuk ke bahagian Town Hall. Agak sedikit bahaya. Terpaksa beliau gunakan free spell di situ. Royal Champion masukkan di kawasan kiri. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability. Adakah mampu untuk dapatkan 3 bintang untuk Savage Elite? 2 minit tinggal. Hot Rider dapatkan Town Hall. Fox masih ada untuk Royal Champion sekurang-kurangnya. Truk tidak banyak untuk beliau ataupun Root Rider berada jauh dengan Warden sekarang ni. Fox tank untuk Warden sekurang-kurangnya. 1 minit 50 saat lagi tinggal. Masih banyak truk yang ada untuk Leo. Dan Leo akan dapatkan 3 bintang dengan 1 minit 20 berapa saat? 25. Saya rasa 25 saat. Yup, 24 saat. 1 minit 24 saat untuk Leo. Jadi Leo akan mengurangkan average attack time untuk Savage Elite dan mendahului pada setakat ini. Mantap sangat daripada Leo. Fidaus, thank you for follow. Korang kemantapan. Aku kalau snap gambar macam ni nampak rambut je. Kau ada rambut ke mak? Kau botak ke? Kau kan minat dengan Giovanna. Kita ada ghost sekarang ni. Di mana jika anda nampak ghost, maknanya anda terbuka hijab. Jadi kalau anda ingin tutup hijab, silalah berhijab sebelum anda dihijabkan oleh kekafan. Dan sekarang ni Sis Barret letakkan di kawasan atas. King dimasukkan di kawasan bawah. Dan sikit Farid dimulakan di kawasan kiri. Dan Root Rider dilepaskan pada jam 8 sekarang ini. Dan kita akan lihat Valkyrie dilepaskan bersama dengan Root Rider beliau yang masuk daripada kawasan kiri sekarang ni. Ada satu overgrowth yang akan digunakan sebentar lagi. Dan King ability telah boleh digunakan di kawasan kanan iaitu Giant Golem dengan Rage Vial. Queen bersama dengan Root Rider masuk di kawasan tengah. Overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall. Dan Single Inferno yang berada di kawasan atas. Jumpa Tornado Trap di kawasan tengah sekarang ni. Itu adalah berita baik untuk beliau. untuk tidak perlu hadap track di hujung-hujung serangan kerana mungkin akan melewatkan masa beliau. Tapi Royal Champion ability terus digunakan sekarang ni di bahagian kiri. Dan overgrowth akan habis tak lama lagi. Race Spray lepaskan terus. Poison untuk Royal Champion defensif. Adakah free spray di kawasan Singa Inferno? Tidak, dibiarkan Royal Champion mati saja. Sayang sekali Royal Champion terus mati. Singa Inferno terus menghantui Road Rider beliau sekarang ni. Terus digunakan Queen ability. Queen berada jauh di kawasan Town Hall. 1 minit 40 saat lagi tinggal. Pemilih dapatkan Singa Inferno 1 minit 21 saat untuk Ghost. Mantap sekali. Jadi wow, makin singkat perbezaan purata masa untuk perlawanan ini. Jadi kita lihat perbezaan 1 saat sahaja setakat pada serangan ketiga ni untuk kedua-dua tim. Jadi ya, sangat-sangat sengit. Castello lah. Thank you Mak for the gift. Dam OI3, thank you for the follow. Terima kasih Lan 9702, thank you follow. M Badri, thank you follow. Del, thank you follow. Navi tak main kali ni, Navi DQ. Zoom sikit boleh tak? Tak boleh. Sebab saya bukan production, saya caster saja. Jadi sekarang ni kita ada Burnout NTC dengan Queen ability telah pun digunakan di kawasan kiri base, iaitu Giant Arrow untuk dapatkan defense, dan bila gunakan Road Rider dilepaskan di kawasan kanan sekarang ini. King akan masuk di kawasan dalam. Oh, adakah finally sedikit gagal di situ? Adakah King defensif memanggil King beliau? Tidak. Ataupun memang akan dimasukkan King di kawasan lain sebenarnya. Saya rasa mungkin ya. Overgrowth sekarang ni di kawasan tengah. Jadi seperti yang anda boleh lihat, sepanjang 2 hari Qualifier, kita boleh nampak meta sekarang ni adalah, ataupun meta di dalam tournament adalah Overgrowth di pertengahan serangan. Tak kira lah guna udara iaitu naga ataupun guna Road Rider iaitu truk darat. Jadi ya, jadi Royal Champion sekarang dapatkan Ricochet Cannon dan free spell terus dilepaskan untuk Town Hall dan juga Monolith, dan satu race spell akan digunakan untuk membantu Royal Champion sekarang ini untuk dapatkan Town Hall dan juga Monolith. 1 minit berapa saat beliau akan dapat? 1 minit 15 saat setakat ini telah pun berlalu. 1 minit 20 saat. Adakah wow, saya terlepas tadi berapa saat? 1 minit 19 ataupun 1 minit 21? Saya terlepas. Wow. Dan SE 1 minit 18 saat. Wow. Mengurangkan purata masa untuk pasukan Savage Elite. Dan seperti yang anda boleh lihat di bahagian result ataupun waktu in-game tadi ada result purata masa. Seperti yang anda boleh lihat, purata masa semakin lama semakin singkat dan bertukar-tukar leader. Okay, bertukar-tukar. Kejap-kejap STM Esport, kejap Savage Elite, dan wow, ini sangat-sangat sengit sebenarnya untuk serangan pembukaan ataupun perlawanan pembukaan untuk hari terakhir Qualifier bulan 5. Jadi siapakah yang akan merebut ataupun siapakah yang akan dapatkan golden ticket untuk bulan 5 ni? Kita akan lihat Zap lalu yang dipilih oleh Rigo Torres untuk STM Esport. Adakah beliau yakin dengan serangan ini akan mendapatkan 3 bintang dan juga masa yang singkat untuk STM Esport? Kita akan lihat Royal Champion dilepaskan di kawasan kiri. Ada Tesla di kawasan atas. Battle Beam akan digunakan untuk dapatkan Town Hall mungkin, dan lalu terus dilepaskan daripada kawasan jam 1. Lagi lalu dimasukkan di kawasan kanan sekarang ni bersama dengan Warden dengan scatter spell yang telah pun menarik perhatian Royal Champion dan juga Multi Arch Tower. Oh, terlepas Battle Beam. Sayang sekali Battle Beam dia. Sampai kena Town Hall, tidak sampai kena Town Hall, tapi terus gunakan Race Spell. Ada 2 free spell sekarang ni, free untuk Town Hall. Adakah Yeti berada dalam race untuk dapatkan Town Hall? Saya tak pasti. Yeti might perlu dapatkan Town Hall sekurang-kurangnya. Hit spell di kawasan tengah untuk belum dia keluar red bomb di situ. 2 minit lagi tinggal. Masa sangat banyak untuk Rigo Torres, tapi adakah clean up cukup untuk Rigo Torres? Ataupun belum dah cukup untuk dapatkan 3 bintang? Kalau ada banyak red bomb kawasan bawah ni sangat-sangat bahaya sebenarnya, kerana belum dah tidak banyak tinggal sekarang ini. 1 minit 15 saat telah pun berlalu untuk Diego Torres. Belon tinggal hanya 2 sahaja. Single Inferno akan terus berdiri kukuh saya rasa. Ataupun Belon dapat single Inferno. Belon dibantu oleh minion untuk dapatkan single Inferno. 1 minit 31 telah pun berlalu dan Ice Gold akan mengganggu belah punya minion. Dan juga level up. Dan 1 minit lewat ataupun lebih pada 1 minit setengah untuk Diego Torres. Jadi inilah kelemahan apabila anda menggunakan Lalo dalam turnamen sekarang ini. Lagi-lagi jika anda mengejar masa seperti dalam perlawanan ini, dan ini akan membuatkan purata masa untuk HTM Esport akan bertambah daripada 1 minit 24 saat kepada 1 minit 30 saat mungkin, saya rasa. Jadi itulah dia purata masa yang sangat tidak diingini oleh HTM Esport. 1 minit 32 saat untuk HTM Esport. Goi Cairo, thank you for the follow. Kakak kau, thank you for the follow. Mantap sekali. 1 minit 56 saat untuk Diego Torres. Punca ni. Punca ni Torres ni. Siapa kalah tersingkir untuk match ni? Wife Izan, thank you for the follow. Kemantapan kita ada Lupi untuk Savage Elite. Order tiket untuk apa? Untuk slot final. Ada 8 tim yang akan bermain di final World Championship. Jadi siapa yang menang qualifier ni, dia dapat main untuk final. Jadi dalam Lopi dengan webcam lag beliau kerana menggunakan data handphone 2G. Mungkin ni mungkin. Korang jangan anggap ni betul pula ni. Aku saja je buat ayat troll kan. Tapi itulah dia. Dengan King dimasukkan di kawasan kanan sekarang ni, Wall Breaker untuk King masuk di kawasan Mountain Inferno. Dan Road Rider digunakan di kawasan atas. Dimulakan Road Rider beliau sama dengan Valkyrie dengan skeleton spell untuk menarik perhatian King defensif. Dimasukkan Royal Champion untuk bersama di kawasan kiri. Jumpa Trader Trap di kawasan atas. Adakah masa cukup untuk Lupi? Kerana design Diamond Base ni selalunya akan melewatkan truk-truk kerana building agak sedikit jarak saya boleh katakan. Jadi Overgrowth akan dilepaskan terus sekarang ni. Dapat menutup Town Hall, dapat menutup Scatter Shot. Jadi Queen akan terus fokus kat arah bawah. Queen ada ability untuk digunakan untuk dapatkan Scatter Shot. Saya rasa dengan Wall Breaker telah boleh lepas ke beliau. Terus gunakan Queen ability sekarang ni. Killer tank untuk Scatter Shot. Ray Spell untuk Rider beliau. Ada satu lagi Ray Spell untuk digunakan. 1 minit 10 saat telah pun berlalu. Free Spell untuk Multi Flow dengan Expo Ground sekarang ni. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability. Dan Ray Spell akan dilepaskan di mana? Itu dia Ray Spell untuk Warden. Dan juga Royal Champion dan Free Spell dan Town Hall. 1 minit 28, 29, 30 saat. 1 minit 31 saat untuk Lupi. Nice try. Tim dah layak siapa? Tim dah layak sebelum ni Synchronic. Bulan lepas dimenangi oleh Synchronic Golden Ticket. Lawan antara clan ke? Yep. Clan mana yang main qualifier untuk setiap hujung bulan, dialah yang layak masuk qualifier. Siapa yang main lah daripada dia banyak stage. Siapa yang masuk semua ni diorang main dalam in-game sahaja. Tidak ada registration, cloning tidak ada. Semua berpeluang untuk register untuk qualifier, tetapi seperti yang kita sedia maklum, yang layak ni selalunya muka sama je. Muka lebih kurang je. Okey, kerana mereka memang mendominasi lah tournament SOC ni. Orang konsisten dan sangat-sangat mendominasi. Jadi sekarang ni Agent 33 untuk HTM Esport. Agent 33 serangan telah hero untuk HTM Esport. Bila perlu dapatkan masa yang sangat-sangat singkat untuk HTM Esport mengurangkan purata masa mereka. Naga dapat single from kawasan atas. Ada satu lagi race spell untuk digunakan. Dibandingkan Overgrowth, letakkan di situ dia. Overgrowth di kawasan Scatter Shot. Saya rasa mungkin sedikit lewat lepas kerana beliau sebenarnya, kerana ada naga yang mati tadi. Jadi kurang kemantapan di situ. Royal Champion sekarang ni diserang oleh King Defensive. Bahagian bawah ada satu lagi race spell yang digunakan oleh beliau. Mungkin akan digunakan pada naga. Ataupun Royal Champion akan masuk di bahagian Tengah sekarang ini. Queen bersama dengan healer mengambil wall. Queen kau boleh ambil bidder heart tu Queen. Kenapa kau ambil wall? Kat luar tak ada apa Queen. Dasar Queen betul lah guys. 1 minit 25 saat untuk agent 33. 1 minit 26 tak salah saya. Jadi purata masa akan kurang sedikit. 1 saat sahaja. Damn. 1 saat sahaja. Agent 33 dapat kurangkan purata masa untuk STM Esport. Jadi bahaya untuk STM Esport. Mereka perlu mengharapkan defensif. Mereka akan jadi kemantapan untuk menyingkirkan Savage Elite. Tapi Celinio, Mr. Leader, untuk Savage Elite ataupun bekas champion tahun lepas, iaitu Celinio, akan cuba memastikan slot untuk next round milik mereka. Jadi kita akan terus dengan serangan daripada Celinio. Minta maaf saya dapat baca komen, jadi saya baca. Okey. Jadi sekarang ni terus Rider di kawasan kiri dengan King di kawasan bawah bersama dengan Queen dengan overgrowth yang ada untuk digunakan sebentar lagi oleh Celinio. Dia target untuk dapatkan 3 bintang dalam bawah 1 minit setengah, seperti yang biasa dilakukan oleh semua pemain dalam turnamen ini. Poison untuk Ice Golem, jump spell untuk masukkan King, dapatkan Queen defensi di kawasan bawah sekarang ni. Itu dia overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall. 45 saat telah pun berlalu. Road Rider berjalan di kawasan tengah sekarang ini. Ada yang berpecah. Kawasan kanan akan memudahkan Queen untuk ke arah kanan. Dengan wall dibuka di situ. Dengan 2 race spell untuk digunakan. Lepaskan super bug untuk memotong defensif di kawasan luar supaya beliau punya troop akan kekal ke bahagian dalam. 2 free spell dan 2 race spell sekarang ni terus digunakan. 1 race dan 1 freeze. 1 minit 20 saat telah berlalu. Sedikit lewat sih boleh katakan. Terus gunakan Royal Champion British sekarang ni. Race dilepaskan. Freeze Town Hall. Oh, no more freeze. 1 minit 20 saat. 30 saat untuk Celinio. Adakah cukup untuk memastikan SE menang? Kita akan lihat. 1 minit 35 saat saya rasa cukup mungkin untuk mengesahkan Savage Elite layak ke pusingan seterusnya. Jadi itu dia 1 minit 27 saat untuk Savage Elite, dan Savage Elite layak ke pusingan seterusnya dan masih lagi hidup dalam qualifier ni. Final bulan 9 tak ingat lah. Ada ke tarikh dia tu? Data Messi tu. Pakai laptop kau tu dia pinjam. Zoom dekat sikit. Saya tak boleh zoom bang sebab ini kerja production bukan kerja saya. Saya caster sahaja. Nabi dah layak ke? Nabi belum lagi. Adik guys, thank you for follow. Z, thank you for follow. Zulfi Kernaim, thank you for follow. Nobody Pijo, thank you for follow. Berapa match ni? Hari ni kita akan nampak berapa tadi kita nampak total kan? Sekarang ni match ke-7 yang baru habis ni. Celinio, ya. Waalaikumsalam. Apa saya ke? Saya so-so lah. Apa yang thank you for follow. Kemantapan. Dan kita akan lihat perlawanan selepas ini, iaitu perlawanan lower bracket yang kedua di antara, tak ingat lah, kau tengok lagi. Aku tak ingat. Jadi dia serangan yang memakan diri STM Esport daripada Diego Torres yang menggunakan Zep Lalo. Jadi cantik bilik dia tu, bilik idaman aku tu. And as a content creator COC, boleh dikatakan agak menjadi bilik idaman lah kan. Cantik, ada hiasan ataupun koleksi barang-barang COC. Jadi setakat ni saya ada Larry sahaja yang sekarang ni tengah tidur dalam kotak. Jadi ya, saya harap dapat banyak lagi koleksi yang akan datang. Navi masih ada tak? Navi masih ada, tapi untuk tournament ni diorang akan cuba bulan depan. Disebabkan bulan ni diorang akan toy satu player buat hal. Jadi satu player tu kena ban 1 tahun, tapi tim Navi kena ban untuk bulan ni dan ditarik balik dia punya silver ticket. Jadi bulan depan diorang akan target balik untuk cuba dapatkan golden ticket ataupun silver ticket sekurang-kurangnya. Jadi Bernal menjadi MVP untuk perlawanan ini.
Bernal NTC has been chosen as the most valuable player from Savage Elite from that last war. A 31% vote from the audience.
Jadi kita ada DZ Esports lawan VM Legacy guys. DZ Esports lawan VM Legacy. STM padu tapi banyak mistake ya. Siapa yang akan toy? Should I tell you guys? Kecewa berat Navi ya. Punca lah seorang player tu buat hal. Apa benda lah. Dia macam tak pernah main SOC je. Dia langgar term of service. Sharing ID. Itu mistake dia tu. Mistake tak boleh belah sharing ID.
Well, it looks like I was the only one to be wrong in it.
Quite hear you net carbon.
Nampak itu salah satu sebab guys komuniti Malaysia ni tak ada dalam World Qualifier. Salah satu sebab bukannya apa ni main reason kenapa kita tak nampak tim-tim Malaysia dekat luar. Itu adalah salah satu sebab kenapa tim Malaysia tak ada di mata dunia dalam dunia SOC ni. Okay. Di Castro ke?
So let's bring up the predictions here, and while we do, I guess Itzu, what was your thoughts on the last night match?
Well, I think Eric already summarized this match really well before it even happened, because he said that it feels like that HTM is attacking slower than Savage Elite, so as long as Savage Elite is not failing, like not getting a non-3 star, they're good to go. Exactly that happened. They were on average faster, and that was exactly how this match ended.
Cik Elok yang kantoi tu, saya pula. Saya main pun noob je. Itu dia. VM Legacy menjadi pilihan untuk 4-4 caster kita. Caster kita oi. Lama. Saya predict VM lah menang. Price pool berapa ni? Price pool untuk World Championship 1M. Tapi di divide sekali dengan qualifier lah, so banyak. Patu punca semalam, tapi Patu kali ni perform. Jadi Savage Elite still ya. So Sabri masih minat tim lagi lah, Savage Elite ataupun bekas champion iaitu Clash Champ. Masih lagi bersama diorang fan Brazil sejati ni.
And that would get so that they would be one win away from getting a golden ticket, and you want to get there through the upper bracket. I think that this match right here is the
Maksud tak boleh share ID dengan orang lain ke atau macam mana tu? Yes.
That actually awards the golden ticket. You know, like if you get through this round here and get to the finals, then you
sharing ID, beli ID tu semua langgar term of service.
Remaining in this double elimination bracket, and that means that whoever emerges out of the lower bracket has to beat you twice. And I think if
confirm lah Clash Champ mantap, tapi Clash Champ tak ada kan, sebab kita orang team kan. Clash Champ punya player tak boleh belah. Berapa banyak nama lah diorang pakai sejak keluar tahun 16 ni. Anarkia lah, All Star lah, sekarang ni STM Esports pula. Aduh. Bulan lepas diorang pakai nama apa? Nama ni ke nama lain? Next match apa? Kita ada DZ Esports lawan dengan VM Legacy. Dua-dua ni padu guys, dua-dua ni padu. Kita tengok semalam diorang memperform gila. Kau perform. Jadi agak-agak siapa menang guys. DZ daripada China dan VM ni campur. Angah, terima kasih follow. Agak-agak siapa menang guys. Semalam kita ada serangan daripada Yueta yang di backend tu bukan backend tu dia silap tu. Aku rasa tidur. Aku follow diorang dari nama Space Station lagi. Ui mantap lah. Space Station masa tu sekali dengan Let's Know kan. Let's Know pun main tournament lagi masa tu 2021.
a caliber
Lepas
that
tu dah
can
tak main lah,
stop
fokus
VM
buat
Legacy
konten.
far beyond.
Fokus jadi caster je.
Look at these hit rates, insane. We are
Itu dia
seeing
kita ada
from
Darkstar
Fluxy,
dengan
Cynthia
100%
Max, and Ninja.
hit rate sama dengan
They
VM
are
Max
ready.
situ.
They are looking to continue their run
Tanpa
through the
tercedok
upper
sepanjang
bracket.
qualifier.
As the number 2 seed,
Naim, terima kasih follow.
where the attacks was actually eliminated. They were the number
Dah
1
siap
seed.
ke?
They were eliminated
Alhamdulillah.
yesterday. But now,
Dapatlah buat live kan.
one
Tidaklah
win
nak kata
away
100%
from
tapi
guaranteeing
dapatlah
yourself
buat
at
live.
least a silver ticket.
Jadi korang
So
kalau nak
much
support
on the
saya
line so that you
untuk
can compete
YT
in the
boleh
last
tekan
year's qualifiers
link dekat
if you
description
don't
untuk
get that golden ticket.
dekat
Because
TT.
last month,
Bolehlah
what
bagi
happened?
apa
Team
saja
that
yang
came
korang
from the
mampu
upper bracket,
untuk
fortunately, was
teruskan
not
support
able
saya.
to get that
Okey,
golden
untuk
ticket
saya teruskan berkonten.
because they
Jadi,
were
ya.
defeated by Socronic
Haris Putra,
in a
thank you for the
bracket
follow.
reset, which is
Kemantapan.
definitely plausible. These teams are so good and anything can happen. All it takes is your hero going the wrong way and it could cost you 20, 25 seconds because they have to loop back around. You never know. So I'm ready to see who is going to be able to take this match between Disease Sports and VM Legacy.
Yeah, and let's take a look at what the community thinks. And, well, it's a little bit in favor of VM Legacy. Not
Jadi,
much, but I feel
berdasarkan,
like this is just
prediction
a tiny bit
community,
which is really represented,
VM Legacy mendapat
represented
undian
in
paling tinggi.
the consistency they
Wow.
had and just showcased in their stats. I mean, that's just really, really incredible. They have 3 attackers which are insanely fast, and then they have 2 attackers which are really safe. And
Jadi
typically
sekarang ni
attack
kita akan lihat
later in the
perbezaan
match.
ataupun
You can
perlawanan
tell
base.
depth, like different strategies
Bukan
and
lagi
things like that. So I
perlawanan
feel like they're really well-rounded,
siapa paling padu,
and this makes them such a
tapi
scary team to
siapa
face.
yang mempunyai
At least
base
that's how it
yang
feels
padu
like.
untuk membuatkan
Alright, well, it's time to
penyerang
do this, guys. This
ditipu
is our upper bracket finals.
dengan
We will
desain-desain yang
set the
ada.
grand finals with this one. So me and Woody
Kita akan
are
lihat
stepping
sebentar
out.
lagi.
Good luck to Carbon and Itzu.
Bila-bila masa
Good luck
saja
with the teams,
serangan akan
and
dimulakan
we'll see you guys
oleh
soon, but me and Woody are stepping out.
Dizzy Esport.
Well, we'll see you guys very soon. Itsu, we are now ready for the upper bracket match between Dizzy Esports and VM Legacy. The winner going to the grand finals and guaranteeing them spot a silver ticket. But that's not what they want. They want that golden ticket. They'll have a huge advantage if they make it to the grand finals from the upper bracket, like we've talked about, because you only have to win one. You get knocked down, you gotta win 2. You gotta force that bracket reset, as we're looking to see Dizzy Esports lead it off to take on Darkstar Space.
Yeah, they're attacking first, and they want to have a really good first impression with hopefully 3-star and a quick time versus the base of Darkstar. And, well, it's going to be a root
Dari
riders
dah
that's
Yueta
no big
untuk Dizzy
surprise.
Sports
They
sekarang ni.
used, yesterday,
Abang main COC juga ke?
multiple overgrowth spell
Tak, bang.
together, which they used then later into the match when time
Tak
was
main,
not
bang.
the biggest deciding factor anymore. But
Saya
this
makan
space is
COC,
really
bang.
interesting because it gives a ton of value to the overgrowth spell in the core. But maybe that's exactly what is intended from VM Legacy, and maybe that's somehow faded.
We'll have to see as a jump is going to be utilized for this king to go right into the core of the base. And look at the spell towers, Rage and Poison right in the middle. No invis, which we've seen several bases being used.
Jadi Yueta menggunakan Road Rider dengan banyak support variant untuk membantu mendapatkan value di kawasan luar base. Terima kasih Haris Putra for the gift. Dan sekarang ni respect di kawasan tengah untuk King beliau dengan overgrowth untuk Town Hall dan juga beberapa defensi di kawasan tengah.
Yang
boleh digunakan respect untuk rider di kawasan bawah. Jadi support bot dilepaskan lagi di kawasan kanan untuk memotong, membuat funnel supaya beliau punya truk akan kekal ke bahagian dalam. 2 minit lagi tinggal untuk beliau. Bermakna 1 minit telah pun berlalu sekarang ini. Terus gunakan Queen Ability di kawasan tengah. 2 free spell akan digunakan di kawasan Town Hall. 1 minit 15 saat untuk beliau. Ataupun 1 minit berapa saat? Free spell yang terakhir. 1 minit 17 18. Oh, ada satu bangunan di kawasan bawah yang terlepas di situ. Laboratory boleh tak perasan. Sayang sekali 1 minit 29 saat untuk Yueta. Sayang sekali. Hanif Zaiman, thank you for follow. bilalah ada nama tim Malaysia masuk to global ni, macam saya cakap tadi, selagi ada banyak ataupun selagi mana komuniti kita ni penuh dengan jual beli ID dan juga sharing ID, joki-joki bagai, selagi tu takkan maju. Okey, dan komuniti Malaysia sangat-sangat susah nak maju sebabkan tak ada budak-budak muda yang main. Okey, kebanyakan lebih berusia daripada yang kita nampak dekat global punya tournament ni. Yang kat global ni saya expect average diorang 25 ke atas. Okey, tapi dekat Malaysia ni berdasarkan pemerhatian saya yang main dan yang aktif untuk tahun-tahun tinggi, kebanyakannya bukan semua, kebanyakan ataupun majoriti mungkin 30 ke atas, 30, 35 ke atas. That's why diorang susah nak beria sikit untuk serius dalam COC. Jadi bila tak ada sifat ataupun tak ada perasaan beria untuk serius dalam kompetitif punya tournament, so susah kita nak dapat ataupun nak bawa nama diorang ni masuk dalam komuniti global. Okey, ini purata apa yang saya cakap ni adalah pemerhatian purata. Saya tak tembak semua. Mungkin ada segelintir. Saya nampak ada beberapa ada segelintir yang rajin, tapi tak cukup untuk menonjolkan ataupun menjadikan macam petunjuk ataupun menjadikan contoh untuk satu komuniti. Harap korang faham COC Tournament Malaysia tak ada ke? Tak ada. Yang ada pun kadang-kadang saya buat, kadang orang lain buat. Itu pun underground lah, tidak ada official. Disebabkan susah nak dapat support. Okey, susah player nak dengar syarat-syarat daripada penganjur, lebih kepada diorang nak ikut kepada diorang sendiri. Okey, ini kebanyakannya lah, bukan semua. Okey, kebanyakan. Ada segelintir sahaja yang nak ikut atau yang sanggup main dan follow betul-betul apa yang dianjurkan. So susah lah bila support tak ada, sangat-sangat susah kita nak perform dan nak konsisten ada tournament tu. Hari Seputar, terima kasih Forgive, Bidulo, Lam, saya Fik, User Son, thank you for follow. Saya rasa macam nak off stream kejap ataupun off casting kejap sebab saya sikit perut lah guys. Belakang Izu ada emoji tai. Dia beli bantal tu lah. Bulan depan RR dah kena nerf. Ya ke? Saya tak dapat apa-apa info lagi ni. COC player Malaysia banyak orang lama. Dia orang lama tak ada masalah, sebab komuniti luar pun banyak juga orang lama. Tapi diorang ada budak muda yang main. Ada budak muda yang cukup lah untuk main kompetitif, untuk buat team. Lagi-lagi saya rasa 1 minit 11 saat untuk VM Legacy, iaitu VM Dark Star. Mantap sekali Mantap. Minta maaf saya tak kas sebab saya sikit perut ni. Saya tengah sikit perut jadi tak fokus lah.
You just can see the small details that a player like Darkstar does of dropping the troops around, and that plays a big role on saving you 10, 15, 20 seconds in your attack, which at the end will play a critical role in helping your team try to advance. As we're getting ready for the next attack that's going to come in for Dizzy Esports, can they answer?
Bulan depan nak ada kena nerf. Dapat info dari Chief Rian Gaming semalam. Ui, Chief Rian dapat info dari mana? Siut tu Chief Rian. Betul-betul orang dalam ni. Aku rasa macam aku dah upgrade orang dalam tapi tak dapat lagi info. Gila membuang lu. Okey, korang dengar lah orang putih kejap minta maaf lah. Kalau ada translator kat komen tu bolehlah korang komen-komen apa yang disebut-sebutkan oleh Izu dengan Carbon. Okey, saya tak tahan sikit perut ni, minta maaf lah. Aduh ya. Saya kuat
Keep doing what you're doing because it is really working for them so far.
Yeah, one thing we're not seeing here right now is the double invises like we did see in last month. Is there any reason why you think we might not be seeing these bases anymore?
I feel like the double invisibility towers are kind of by now overused, which means a lot of people have those counters for them. And this is why currently, at least in esports, they're not getting used that much. In Legends, they're still working. I mean, I'm using one of those bases and like pushed from, I don't know, like 5,000 trophies from doing my ore attacks to like 5,900 in like 4 days or something, because people do not know how to attack them still in Legends. But in esports, they know how to counter them. Use those lock launcher or the approach of Synchronic with the Yeti dives into the core with the lock launcher as well. We have seen from Bernal crazy approaches with like having a Royal Champion Warden dive into the core. All of those attacks can work, and I feel like by now those bases are not having this surprise factor anymore in esports. So this is why we don't see them today. Back to classic core Town Hall, poison or rage towers, and try to somehow slow attacks down as much as possible.
Yeah, it's really always interesting to see as the meta is shifting and evolving. But now we're seeing again with the Root Riders and Valkyries. I'm going to be just keep my eye on Poison and another Poison spelt out right in the core with that centralized Town Hall, as we're going straight away with those Roots and Valks to the right side with that Warden, while the jump is placed straight on the outside, kind of help to get that King and Queen in towards the Eagle. But Super Minions, at least one of them did come out of the defending CC.
Yeah, there are some super minions indeed, but I think the Warden effect was still active and the King was taking nicely as well with this rage. Now covering the Inferno Tower, the troops are pushing into that monolith quickly. He has to freeze it still because it deals a lot of damage, but we have the half of the base already taken care of, while the Queen is slowly circling around, but she cannot reach that merged cannon there, which is really important. But the Queen with the jump spell walking back and now can take it down.
Yeah, Ricochet Cannon going down as he does invest that freeze and the rage right into the core. And that Royal Champion, it can help take out the Town Hall with that King's assistance right there. And down this is going. Definitely going to be help aiding in the time. And he's waiting quite a bit of time there through that final storage. And there you go. What an attack here coming in from Kai, getting a 3-star here with those Root Riders and the Valkyries. And it is lowering the time. They were at a minute 29 down to about a minute 21 with a minute 14 attack. Granted, it wasn't as quick as Darkstar. It was only a 3-second differential of Darkstar being at 1 minute 11. So pretty similar, but it all takes those small little details that cost you a few seconds in the end.
Yeah, we said already earlier, like VM Legacy still have some attackers who are not as quick typically. So yeah, for DZ Esports, everything is still fine. As I said earlier, they're doing, or they should keep doing what they're doing. They're just so good at it with the time as well. They have beaten already teams in this competition on a tiebreaker on time, and now though it's back to VM Legacy again. And I guess that was just set in one of their other really fast attackers in early to try to put up this pressure. Now it's up to then Dizzy Esports, like with this back and forth of the pressure game of maybe doing a mistake, and even if that mistake is not costing them a star, it could be with like the first attack which they had with the one building not really seen by the spotter, and that could cost them already some seconds.
Yeah, it could cost them in the end, but you have to focus on your attacks to come. If you've already done the hit, now you got to help potentially spot or help plan those final attacks. There's a lot of pressure on the line. This is an upper bracket match, so if you're just joining, this is match number 2 here today. If one of these teams wins, well, obviously one will, they will be going to the grand finals and guaranteeing themselves a spot for a silver ticket. But they don't want that. They want the golden ticket. If you lose, you will get sent to the lower bracket to have to take on Savage Elite, who, if you don't know, are recently signed, and they were the last year's Clash Champs, won the World Championship. So we're going to have to see what team can able to make their way through, as we are indeed take a look at that bracket of where we currently stand. And yes, lots on the line. Only 3 teams remain, and one of them will be getting a golden ticket, as Max is up here for VM Legacy next.
Yeah, and he is the person with the 100% hit rate. I mean, we all know that the current meta is not the hardest for the pros, but having a 100% hit rate, not failing once, is still super impressive. And Max is doing that with a really quick time as well. So I'm looking forward to how he can influence the outcome of this match. He's going with the Root Riders, bringing quite a few of those Super Barbarians as well to speed things up even further. And is bringing the jump spell as well, which has been such a game changer for those pros to speed attacks up quite a bit because they can separate the king and get a lot of value with him.
Yeah, it's that giant gauntlet. It is incredibly strong, and you don't see any pro not using it. If you don't use it, you are at a disadvantage in these matches, as we are seeing Root Riders coming straight in towards the core to go towards that town hall, as the Siege Barracks has already been deployed to the top side, and that Royal Champion, she's already running her way towards the monolith.
Yeah, but the skeleton spell really nicely distracting that monolith. That is always the big thing, right? Like, there's always those huge defenses, and they're getting countered by a really small skeleton spell and kind of no damage whatsoever anymore. So really nicely done to take advantage of no multi-frontal or multi-targeting defenses around that building. And then we have the Queen slowly approaching that bottom side, taking down all of those buildings with rage for the troops as the overgrowth is running out.
Yeah, look at the town hall remaining, and he is liking this attack. It's going to be going down, saving it towards the end, and Max delivering a 3-star for VM Legacy and putting them at a minute at 11 total, with his attack being at a minute 12. Man, VM Legacy is looking fantastic so far here in this match, having one of the fastest average attack times in this whole tournament here this weekend.
Yeah, Max and as well Darkstar as an opener, or like as two opener attackers, that is just like the perfect dream for a team currently. Like, they're just so good and consistent with their attacks. That is just super impressive. And I mean, it's not getting worse at this point when it comes down to the remaining players, right? Like, it's not, oh, okay, we finally have defended or like have gotten attacked by those two guys. Now only the rest. No, it's getting really, like, you're getting a good player after good player. It's really, really scary to face them. But still, Dizzy have to keep doing their thing and somehow staying close in time and hoping maybe for a mistake from the other side.
At this point, that's indeed what you have to hope for. You just got to cross your fingers and hope for a defense and have them be at 14 stars, because that's what these wars nowadays are being at, 15-15. And all it takes is one attack that gets about a minute 55 and causes you to lose a match. And then it really changes the mindset of these players when an attack like that comes in. Granted, the other players still have to be quick, but it's a huge relief if you start to see. Because when these players are building their bases and testing it, they're not testing it really all too much to try to defend against a 2-star. It's really just what can they do to slow the attack down. They have an idea of most likely where the attack's going to come in with the possible Root Riders and Valks. But how can you slow it down? Putting a tornado trap, springing the Valkyries that has as much damage in the core. Those are really the small details that these players have to think about.
Apa cerita guys? Saya terlepas beberapa serangan ni.
That is for sure a big task currently for those base bearers in this competition to really find this new trick, new setup, new overall base maybe to really slow attacks down or even to defend like the invisibility tower bases in the beginning, right? Where people were surprised by them. They were not used to attacking them.
Apa jadi guys? Apa jadi?
Well, next attack on the line.
Si Haji dah terbang ke fielder hari ni, Haji jemput.
Attacking Cynthia on the other side now.
Cynthia is the Hog Rider Master. The question is, will he be using any hogs? Obviously, he'll have the hogs from the Royal Champion. But Cynthia, I think, wants to do his absolute best to try to use the hogs if he can. But if the base is set up for a certain attack strategy that it could be quick, he's definitely going to do that to try to help his team out. As now, we're going to see more Root Riders and Valk, still the classic jump with the overgrowth, and always pairing that jump near where that king is going to path his way right on in towards the Ricochet cannons. And it looks like the clan castle is also over towards the edge of this base.
King di kawasan atas, Queen di kawasan luar atas. Respect sekarang untuk Rider.
The power of the Archer Queen and the Barbarian King, which so far is working quite nice, and he's using the using the siege barracks on the complete opposite side to make sure that he is
telah pun membuat funnel di kawasan luar kiri supaya Road Rider akan terus ke bahagian tengah base.
To make sure that this base getting attacked from
jadi 30% telah pun berlalu untuk Chen.
Yeah, with that overgrowth clearing that town
Adakah
hall
Cie akan
and the
dapatkan 3
minefield
bintang dengan masa yang singkat? Kita akan lihat satu free spell untuk digunakan. Jumpa tornado trap di kawasan kiri sekarang ini.
They helped really protect that queen as she's continuing her way through. Still has her ability, still has the world champion ability, a rage and a freeze. And even
Dia ada satu rage, satu freeze, tapi Town Hall ada poison tower di kawasan tepinya. Sama dengan Monolith. Valkyrie banyak di kawasan bawah. Dia akan gunakan free spell sebentar lagi. Rage spell untuk Valkyrie beliau.
Should not be the biggest difference maker because he
Free
is
spell
a big
Town Hall dan 1 minit 20 saat untuk Chen. 19 saat. Wow. 1 minit 19 saat untuk Chen. Dan setakat ini kita nampak purata masa untuk VM Esports 1 minit 11. Nampaknya saya terlepas beberapa serangan yang sangat-sangat laju daripada VM Surgical.
Minute 19, they're bringing the attacks down slowly but surely, but still there is that
Tadi lagi padu, ya.
their time.
Tapi yang ni pun boleh tahan padu, ada 1 minit 19.
22,
Boleh tahan
where
padu lah
VM
kan.
Legacy is sitting at about a minute 12, so that 8-second differential.
Waalaikumsalam yang bagi salam tadi, minta maaf kalau saya tak jawab.
He had to go all the way down to the bottom of the base, costing him about 5-6 seconds. You never know. That's really what it comes down to. Facing a team like VM Legacy, you need to get all the cleanup down as
Aku nak tu hammer kat belakang Izu tu. Itu golden hammer tu sebenarnya aku. Macam tu ke? Macam tu macam mana? Tapi hammer tu selak aku dah berketul je. Cik buat. Sikit gila. Berapa ketul? 5 ketul. Golden hammer. Memang rare gila lah kalau ada hammer tu. Tu kalau jual tu mau puluh-puluh ribu boleh jual. Dapat jual kat kolektor COC pun. Masyuk tu. Dan ini dia qualifier bulanan punya hadiah. 18, 12, 30,000 campur dengan yang lain mungkin lebih kurang 60,000. Kurang-kurangnya atau berapa guys? Berapa geng? 18 campur 12 campur 8.5 campur 6.5 campur 5 campur berapa tadi? Lebih kurang 50 lebih lah. Dan screenshot terus untuk Wah. Mantap. Pokok like list, thank you for follow. Yang di YT tu korang dah subscribe ke? Korang tengok kat luar je. Jemput-jemput lah subscribe dan tegur-tegur kat komen ni. Okay, selamat datang untuk warga-warga YT yang mana kita dah berkembang sampai ke 4K subscriber. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for support. Kita all the way ke 5K subscriber guys. Let's go. Lee, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow dah. Thank you for the rose. Dan Sinte is here dengan serangan naga daripada Sinte sekarang ni. Ada 4 free spell, 1 clone, 2 atau 3 respect boleh jauh. Cynthia loves that giant arrow which activates the invisibility spell. Terima kasih kepada Rosli. Naga dimasukkan di kawasan atas. Sementara King dan Queen berada di kawasan luar sekarang ini. Dan terus gunakan water ability. Adakah boleh gunakan giant arrow untuk Queen? Saya rasa mungkin ya. Itu dah raise spell dengan clone spell untuk dapatkan monolith. Letakkan clone spell sedikit lewat supaya dapat melewatkan kehadiran ataupun melewatkan proses clone belon supaya tidak mati awal dengan letupan Town Hall. Mantap sekali. Dan sekarang raise spell di kawasan tengah. Free spell untuk Market Tower dan juga scatter shot yang menyerang naga beliau. Sedikit berbahaya, tapi Royal Champion dimasukkan sekarang ni di kawasan bawah. Amar, terima kasih follow. Jumpa tornado trap di kawasan kanan untuk belon beliau. 1 raise spell, 1 poison spell untuk digunakan. Di manakah akan digunakan? Ada shot. Dibiarkan oleh Warden. Poison untuk Queen defensif sekarang ni. Raise spell terus digunakan bersama dengan Royal Champion ability yang keluarkan Hot Rider. Keluar Skeleton Trap. Tapi Queen dapat 10 scatter shot dan Sinte dapat 3 bintang dalam masa 1 minit 25 saat. Nice try. Nice try daripada Sinte. Ini akan membuatkan purata masa akan bertambah untuk VM Legacy.
Yeah.
Even though this attack is still on the 1 minute and 25 second mark, which is crazy to say that this is
Lima
not
yang
the
atas,
fastest
ya.
attack.
Duduk udara,
Because we have
tenaga.
seen yesterday attacks and matches where 1 minute and 25 seconds
Fazli, terima
was a
kasih
really
follow.
solid time. But if we compare that with those other players from VM Legacy, it could be considered not that fast. And this just showcases
Lambat main
how
atas,
good
kadang
those players
cepat,
of
kadang
VM
lambat.
Legacy are
Ikut pada
with
base juga.
those really fast times.
Yeah, insane. But if you saw Max and Darkstar bringing attacks of a minute 11 and a minute 12 or a minute 13 right around that mark, the minute 25 is quite a bit slower, and it brought them closer to Dizzy Esports. It brought the average up about 5 seconds after that attack.
Abang
You
boleh
know,
jadi
you've
pemula
gotta be
bersepak?
quick. We
Tak,
still
bang.
have
Saya tak
a
sepadu
set of
tu.
attacks here that come in from VM Legacy, and can they still clutch up and bring those quick triples, bring it down about a minute 15. Granted, yes, a minute 25
sekarang
is
ni kita akan lihat
very
serangan
quick,
keempat
but when all the other
untuk
pros at the stage are
kedua-dua
bringing that or
pasukan.
even quicker, then you're gonna have to change your game and make those small adjustments.
Yeah, it's always then the question though, what adjustments do you already do? Like, how can you speed things up even further? I feel like that is always a big thing. I mean, we always talk about, okay, let's just take more risk, more risk,
Tekanan
more
agak
risk.
tinggi untuk
But then how do those risks
Dizzy
look
Esports,
like? Like, what do they do? Like, do they,
Sebabkan,
I don't know, like,
mereka
deploy everything with, like,
belum
10
mendahului.
fingers and once, I don't even know if that would really speed things up. So I feel like they should just stick with their plans, do what they can do best, and maybe hope for the other team to mess things up, or make sure that they are as efficient with the deployment as possible.
Yeah, you've mentioned that you've been in Legends, you've gone against so many of these bases, you've
Papa,
built
terima
a
kasih
lot
for
of
the
bases
gift.
that pros have either
Terima kasih
used
support.
or took to be influential in their designs. What would be your recommendation to anyone out there that is trying to push up in Legends League and they get to a certain mark that they are always getting perfected, right? 320, 320. Do you have any advice for them that when they run into that wall?
I feel like first off,
Thank you for the rose
currently
lagi,
in Legends
Papa. Terima
especially,
kasih.
you have not only attacking being really important anymore, but now base building as well, which I feel like on Tournament 15, you had to use 2 raid showers and you were good to go on defending, right? Like that's how it was. It felt like at least like that. Now you really need to make sure that you're defensive as well, good looking, and you need to then rewatch maybe some of the attacks. Not about like to defend 8 times. It's about like maybe messing up 1 or 2 of those attacks. So rewatch the attacks, rewatch, okay, this angle is getting used a lot of times, and then adjust some traps, especially giant bombs. Spring traps versus Valkyries, for example, can be a good thing. Or if someone always deploys the siege barracks in that one corner, giant bombs, maybe a test off form to surprise the attacker. All of those things can work for sure. And in Legends, small things can really backfire quickly, and that can really give you then some defenses, which is
Jadi serangan
quite
seterusnya
nice
akan
and can
berlangsung
give you some
sebentar
trophies in
lagi.
the end.
Stay tune guys.
So a little bit inside of my Legends,
Kita
I'm
tunggu
always hanging around
beberapa saat mungkin.
5,100, right? I'm at the very low end of Legends League, and this is how many times I've changed my base. 0. Right? I
Cuba korang komen guys, korang sekarang ni Town Hall berapa? Mat Cotek lagi follow. Amir Farhan terima kasih follow. Cuba korang komen guys.
I mean,
Korang main tahun berapa
when I
guys?
did go for the rank 1,
Dan sekarang
which
kita
I think
denden
every
untuk Dizzy
2
Esports.
days or something.
Dan sambil-sambil
Because
tunggu kita
legend
borak
bases
dulu.
higher up in Legends are getting shared really, really quick. So you have to have those new bases ready every couple of days. But this means as well tweaking your base, right?
Tahun
Like, this is
13
something which
baru
is
naik
really
dari
important, so
3.
you need to learn
Okey,
how
tahun
to
10,
adjust
tahun
traps.
6.
Now let's take a look at
Okey,
if
kita ada Abang Denden,
traps
peminat
are
spiky
adjusted
ball
for
di
the
sini.
Spiky ball, which we see on this base.
Ooh, okay, this spiky ball, here we go. Denden coming in with that
Jadi
queen to
Denden
the top
masukkan
side.
berada di kawasan
Siege
kanan.
off to the far right side,
Sama
and
dengan
then
King
instant
Liao dengan
warden
overgrowth akan digunakan
ability to be
sebentar
able to
lagi.
protect these Root Riders, making his way right
Awish
on
Putra,
through.
terima
The
kasih
Town Hall is
follow.
off to the left, and a Tesla farm
Mungkin
pops up
overgrowth
in
di kawasan
front of it
Town
near
Hall.
that
Oh
monolith.
tidak, dibiarkan Town Hall lah. Mungkin untuk Queen
Yeah,
dapatkan
the
Town Hall
Tesla
tu
farm
bagaimana?
can
Tak pasti.
be a problem for that Asher
Boleh
Queen
lepaskan
without
Spobak
that
lagi untuk
King
memotong dari spell lepaskan
support.
untuk
You
rider
have
beliau
to
sekarang
go
ini.
with
Sementara
this
Kim ada di
King
kawasan
that
bawah
being
ditarik oleh
stronger.
Thunder Trap sekarang ni.
With the overgrowth spell, everything is well.
Royal
not
Champion
really
ada di
back to
kawasan
the
bawah
tower
bersama
now.
dengan
It's gonna be
King.
the biggest problem.
Yeah, with a raise to the bottom side, to have this Royal Champion continue her way down the bottom, still has that King ability, which has the spiky ball. It can help be fantastic for cleanup as he continues right on through, but still hanging on that King ability because of the skips. And I mean, really, that spiky ball, you can get so much value from this king by
Jadi
popping
king
it
ability
now.
untuk
It has the
digunakan.
splash damage of the
Itu
giant
spiky
golem,
ball untuk
but it's still
dapatkan
waiting
defensi
for
yang
the
tinggal.
final
Itu
nine
dia
buildings.
king ability
There
terus
you go.
spiky
Finally
ball
now skips right
dengan
on
1
through,
minit
and we
18
got
saat
ourselves
untuk
a
Denden.
3-star here for Dizzy Esports.
Nice try.
Right around their average time of about 1:20. So that will put them to 12 stars, and yep, staying 1:20 in this average attack duration, and finishing at 1:18. And VM Legacy have just that small lead advantage now.
Yeah, really nicely done by him with the spiky ball, getting that in, getting some love for that equipment. I'm still wondering, like, if every pro has the option of using either the spiky ball in a max
Dia ni
stadium
tahu wine ke?
or
Tak
the
pasti
rage
lah.
style, what would be the
Tapi kat
usage
webcam ni
rate
macam
of
dia
those
satu
three
geng kan?
weapons? Because I
Duduk
feel
sekali
like
kan?
personally, to me, the rage ball is just more consistent
Sure lah
compared
buat
with the
that.
spiky ball, where you can get some crazy value, because if you get good bounces and your spiky ball is just one-shotting, I don't know, spare tower inside the village, that is crazy, right? Like one-shotting in Invis,
Oh, lebih kurang 9 minit lagi.
poison or rage tower
untuk serangan
early
seterusnya
on
akan dilakukan.
is huge. But if you don't get those crazy bounces and they're getting like some gold mines or elixir collectors on the outside, well, no one really
Tidak,
cares,
terus
right?
dilakukan oleh Ninja.
it's high risk, high reward, I feel
Ninja
like.
dengan spiky ball juga. Tapi kali ini kita nampak base design dengan Invis Spare Tower sebagai defensif. Terus dia unlock dengan Giant Hero daripada Kui daripada kawasan kanan. Adakah korang juga peminat Giant Hero? Cuba korang komen. Adakah korang tak reti guna Giant Hero ataupun korang memang tak nak guna Giant Hero ataupun tak minat? Cuba korang komen guys. Macam mana pendapat korang dengan Giant Hero? Jadi King sudah berada di kawasan bawah sekarang ni bersama dengan Queen. Dan naga beliau dia ada ke bawah. Dia ada 9 super bab untuk dilepaskan.
Yes, but I would like to take a look as well at the Barbarian King at the bottom side, because I really want to know how he's using that spiky ball. Is he going to use it as soon as the king is going in? No. Now, and that's not the question. Was that worth
Dengan
it?
baki
What
dua
would you
free
say,
spell
right? Was this
dengan
worth
Royal
it
Champion
over
yang
the
dimasukkan
Rage
di kawasan
Trial?
atas.
It's always a tough
Free spell
call,
untuk
in
Royal
my
Champion.
opinion.
Free
But
spell
either
Ricochet
way, this
Cannon dengan
deck
Tesla
looks
sekarang
really
ni.
strong. And
Satu lagi
it's
free
really
untuk
quick as
digunakan.
well, even though the Tornado Trap
1
currently
minit
is
10 saat
a
telah pun
point.
berlalu untuk Ninja. Free spell Ricochet Cannon sekarang ini. 15 saat telah pun berlalu. Royal Champion struggle untuk dapatkan Ricochet Cannon dibantu oleh naga di kawasan atas. Keluar skeleton trap di situ. Dapat Ricochet Cannon. Ki sangkut di kawasan dalam. Royal Champion survive. Dapatkan Wizard Tower sekarang ini Royal Champion. Dapat Wizard Tower di hujung nyawa dan 1 minit 34 saat 35 untuk Ninja ataupun Ninja yang mungkin akan membuatkan purata masa mereka tambah dan mungkin jadi lagi lebih daripada Dizzy Sport. Kita akan lihat. Oh, sama sekarang ni purata masa untuk kedua-dua tim. Okey. Kita akan lihat serangan terakhir yang sangat mendebarkan untuk kedua-dua pasukan. Wow. Risha, terima kasih follow. Gila Bapak dah try guna, memang best. Cik A tak try lagi. Game buat arena tak try lagi. Kenapa game buat arena pula? Game buat arena sedang level tinggi lah.
Because the ice golems came out, something lured them. I wasn't really sure what exactly lured them. But them freezing everything.
Mantap, kemantapan.
That was easily like 5 to 8 seconds.
Dia siapa menang yang aku pilih nak
a lot of damage on the
Hero.
dragons as well, where they could have
Giant
dealt more
Hero.
damage than on the buildings.
Boleh tulis penuh je, malas.
Vulnerability was then kind of
Tangan
not
adik
really
kan?
used much. So in fact that was the big game changer. And otherwise dragons can be insanely quick. We have some of the fastest attacks being dragon attacks, but those ice golems, that is typically the key, that you can avoid them. Dragon attacks with ice golems ruled out, that's not the best thing and possible, I don't know, like the worst scenario you could hope for, I guess.
Yeah, and the big thing is most of these bases have ice golems in the defending clan castles, and it's a lot of times it's a mix of having either 1, 2 ice golems with a bunch of archers sneaking in a headhunter in there.
Tangan ada tapi yang bawah tu ada satu je. Semua orang ada satu di bawah tu. Okey. Dan ya, korang boleh earn reward dengan link yang ada di tertera. Tetapi rasanya untuk day ni dah tutup rasanya.
game
Mungkin korang boleh
rewards.
predict lagi untuk
So
next
make sure
match.
you
Mungkin
guys
untuk
are
next
there
match.
and you
So
can
korang boleh
be
try predict lagi
early,
dan
of course,
dapatkan
getting
in-game item
those in-game
yang
rewards
korang boleh
there.
kumpul
You
berdasarkan
can
point yang korang
also
kumpul lah
submit your
untuk
predictions there.
prediction
Not
ni.
only this month,
Okay.
you can do it for next
Si
month
thank you
and
for follow.
even the month after.
Akhirnya
So make sure you
jaga
guys are
untuk
always tuning in
DZ
there,
Sport.
where you can get those in-game rewards from resources to books to even ores. So definitely something you do not want to be missing out on, as here we go. The final set of attacks to come in and determine who is going to be going to the grand finals of the May monthly finals here, as we are going to be seeing the Root Riders, the Valks. No overgrowth in this attack here.
Mat, thank you for
Yeah,
follow.
just heard from production, the
Tengah
average
dong follow.
time is tight.
Okey,
yes,
kita
but
ada
like,
rider
if the
kawasan
average
kiri
time
sekarang
rises,
ni
there is
untuk
always some
jaga.
seconds in between.
Jaga-jaga.
So currently Dizzy is
Mengejar
would win
mimpi,
because they are an
jaga-jaga.
advantage of 3 seconds. So they are quicker currently, even though the average time shows a tie. So Dizzy right now is having the advantage. And if they get another quick attack, then there is a lot of pressure on
Dari
the
kiri kawasan
Legacy,
atas.
and they could possibly
Shuffle
get
situ
this
golem king
upset
beliau.
victory. And so
Everyday
far,
on
things are looking
shuffling.
really, really good. The tower is
Gunakan
going
skater
down
spare
to
di
the
kawasan
king
tengah
and
sekarang
queen.
ni
The
untuk
Rise are
menarik
looking good as
perhatian
well, I would
single
say.
Inferno.
The single Inferno towers are getting completely distracted
Oh, ia
by the
champion di belakang
skeleton
rider di
spells.
kawasan tengah.
Yeah, with the jump giving that
Queen
king
dapat
access,
Town Hall
the
di kawasan
tower going
kanan.
down. Ooh, the queen
Race spare di kawasan
standing
tengah
in
sekarang
that
ni.
poison spell,
50 saat
as
telah pun
she's
berlalu.
slowly taking quite a bit of damage
Valkyrie
as she
keluar dari
continues to
British
push
Barrett di
through
kawasan
that eagle.
kanan.
Actually, Valkyries do come out of that
Yang
secret
berbaki
from the far right
satu
side,
free
going
spell
straight
untuk
into the
digunakan.
enemy queen, and now
Oh,
a
ia
minute
champion
has
yang
passed,
telah
and
pun
it's all about
telah pun
cleaning up
digunakan.
these final buildings
1
here.
minit 10 saat telah pun berlalu setakat ini. Saat demi saat dikira. Sangat-sangat penting untuk kedua-dua pasukan ini. 1 minit 20 saat telah pun berlalu. Jadi total 3 bintang untuk jaga dengan memakan masa 1 minit 25 saat yang akan menambahkan sedikit purata masa beliau ataupun mereka. 1 minit 21 saat secara total, secara purata. Jadi sekarang ni VM Legacy masih lagi menjadi pendahulu, tetapi mereka perlu membuat serangan terakhir selepas ini. Jadi agak-agak siapakah yang akan menang?
1 minute 22 seconds to win. Please double check if that was right for me with the quick math on this one.
Jaga-jaga anda
But
bakal
I
diratakan.
think this would be crazy.
This will be crazy indeed. So
Mak
VM
kan noob.
ties with a
Tak takut
1 minute and 23 second attack. The attack that is needed for Fluxy to take
Ada
note.
Fluxy.
is 1
Fluxy
minute
ni adalah
and 22
pemain yang orang kata padu juga membuat serangan pantas. Kita akan lihat naga daripada beliau sekarang ini. Fluxy untuk VM Legacy dengan Jainer digunakan di kawasan bawah. Adakah beliau akan dapatkan serangan 3 bintang di bawah 1 minit 20 saat untuk VM Legacy? Kita akan lihat. Terus digunakan water ability di kawasan tengah sekarang ni untuk naga beliau dan free spell untuk Town Hall. Dan juga Ice Sweeper, close spell, raise spell untuk bila dapatkan Town Hall. Ice Sweeper dan beberapa defense di kawasan tengah. King masuk di kawasan kanan sekarang ni bersama dengan Spobak untuk memotong di kawasan tepi supaya King masuk di kawasan monolith. Awal dengan King defensif dengan scatter spell dilepaskan untuk menarik perhatian King defensif. Lagi Spobak dimasukkan. Ada 2 free spell untuk digunakan dengan 1 raise spell baki sekarang ini. Naga sedang berada di kawasan kanan. Queen defensif menanti kawasan kiri. 45 saat telah pun berlalu untuk Fluxy sekarang ini. Tangan beliau pantas untuk memerhatikan apakah yang beliau boleh lakukan secara pantas di sini untuk memastikan serangan ini di bawah 1.20 saat. Jumpa Thunder Trap di kawasan Queen sekarang ni, tapi Royal Champion mampu mendapatkan Queen defensif dengan mudah. Free spell untuk Queen defensif. 1 minit 5 saat telah berlalu. 1 minit 15 saat kurang-kurangnya untuk Fluxy, dan Fluxy berjaya mengesahkan slot Grand Final untuk Qualifier ni milik VM Legacy. Dengan purata masa untuk VM Legacy menang dengan kelebihan 2 saat daripada DZ Esport. Mantap sekali. Jadi itulah dia COC sekarang ni. Anda perlu pantas seperti Formula 1 punya driver untuk mengesahkan kemenangan.
Really impressive from Fluxy, getting the quick 3-shot when they needed it. and clutching it out.
Itu dia
Giving
VM
them
Legacy.
the opportunity, or not
Satu
just
langkah
opportunity,
lagi
giving
untuk
them the access
menuju
to the
ke
finals
golden
of
ticket
this
ataupun
month qualifier.
menggenggam
For
golden
them,
ticket.
it is a huge
Bulan yang
relief
5
coming
ini.
from an upper bracket, because all you have to do is win one. You come from that lower bracket, you have to force a bracket reset. So let's take a look at these attacks that were the deciding ones in this match here between Dizzy Esports and VM Legacy. What an average attack duration, right around the 1 minute 20-second mark throughout this whole
Tahniah awak
match.
dapat golden ticket.
Still brought in some amazing
Awit, terima kasih
attacks
follow.
there, and it just shows the smallest details using that giant arrow to fly through the
Ui,
base.
nama Jepang. Nama Jepang, thank you for the gift. Apa dia bagi tu weh? Aku kat sini nampak tau kat studio ni.
Attack of Ninja was the only
Tapi
attack.
nampak macam ikon tu
Where
macam
you could
gempak
argue
je.
it was a bit slower, where I feel like
Terima
our
kasih nama
attacks
Jepang.
were just so
Lawan
fast.
apa
But
pas
this
ni?
means,
Pas ni
on the
kita akan
other side,
nampak
we
Dizzy
will
Esports
see
lawan
VM
dengan
Legacy
apa
in
ni?
the finals, and we see Dizzy Esports
Dizzy
facing
Esports
off
lawan
then in the
dengan apa
lower
tah?
bracket versus the world champions versus Savage
Minecraft,
Elite
sini pun tak
for
nampak.
the other
Minecraft
final
ke?
spot.
Yeah.
Thank you
Savage Elite
for the
taking
support.
on
Terima
Dizzy
kasih.
Esports. The winner will then come to take VM Legacy in the grand finals.
Thank you nama Jepang
As
for the
again, we
gift.
have another perfect,
Alhamdulillah, thank you for the
perfect
support.
war. We have not had a fail yet here today, as Dizzy Esports unfortunately goes down to the average attack duration, and with Ninja being at a minute 35, the slowest of this match, it was thanks to Darkstar at minute 11, Maxed minute 12, Fluxy 1 minute 15, that really helped bring that attack duration down. So what in match there, and Fluxy covered in the end.
No problem,
Clutching it
kemantapan
there for
bang.
VM Legacy with the pressure on the line.
Yeah, but I can
Leo TT ni pelik sikit.
110% understand that because it is not
Korang pun
easy
tak
to
nampak
be the
Give him
finisher
macam
of
tak ada
team.
naik apa-apa
Flex
animation.
is delivering so many times for his team to finish off strong, get the results they need, and well, that's exactly what he did in this
Andy
match.
Amar, terima kasih
Eric, Woody,
follow.
welcome back. How did you enjoy this match?
Oh,
I loved it. I know it was amazing to watch from beginning to end. Eric is going to be back with us for just a few seconds, but yeah, just like
Eric
seeing
lupa on mic.
Fluxy perform here at a time when it was kind of up in the air. You know, Fluxy has been the clutch hitter,
Tabun tu
attacking
duk
last for
angguk-angguk
this
je
team for a
tadi.
long
Pada tak
time
dengar.
now. It's not panned out for them sometimes in the past. Sometimes it's exactly what they needed. And this is one of those times when they can pat themselves in the back. Whoever is making that roster decision can be very glad that Fluxy was the man in the number 5 spot. Eric?
Yeah, it's always insane when you have the wars go back and forth like that. Like when they had that little taste, that little chance to be able to take the lead for just a moment, and then VM Legacy just snatches it right back from them, and that's always
Yang DYT
it's
apa
like
khabar?
if you're
Selamat
on the
datang.
VM Legacy side or you're a VM Legacy fan, and to see them step up to the plate like that and deliver that final attack there and swing the war back into their favor after losing the lead for just a moment. That's just
Yang
a
DYT
very
kalau belum
satisfying
subscribe lagi,
feeling,
kita
and the
boleh
team's
subscribe
got to
ya.
be feeling good about making it
Jadi
into the
kemantapan,
grand
guys.
finals. So let's take a look at the bracket here.
Yang
Let's see
ini
exactly
bracket dia
where
sekarang ni,
we
kita ada
stand.
VM Legacy
There
yang
we go.
menanti,
VM Legacy has now advanced on the bracket, and there are
Savage
still
Elite
two
ataupun
teams
Dizzy
now
Esports di
that will
grand
have
final.
to fight to be able to go back and face them in that grand finals and play for the golden ticket, Carbon.
Savage Elite
Yeah,
adalah
we have VM Legacy in the
Juara
grand
bertahan.
finals indeed, or it's
Kita boleh
the next
katakan
match to
kerana
come.
mereka adalah
Savage
juara tahun
Elite
lepas.
taking on Dizzy Esports, and only one can make it back and
Tak
go
naik,
to the
tak apa,
grand
tak apa,
finals
tak apa.
and guarantee
Yang penting nama
themselves
orang bagi
a
tu naik lah.
silver ticket
terima kasih.
there.
Sedih tu Rizky
But man,
kalah
what
10
a
saat
set of
dia.
attacks that we saw coming
Salah,
in towards the
kalah
end,
2
and it
saat.
really was that
Saya
final
perhati.
attack. Fluxy clutching it up. An amazing hit there, and you can see the emotion, the celebration to be able to do it. And hey, they've at least guaranteed a silver ticket. So a
berdasarkan
lot of weight is
performance
lifted
macam
off their shoulders, but still,
VM Legacy
they
tu
just want to
layak
win
lah.
one
Apa ni,
more
deserve lah,
match.
deserve lah. Sampai
Can they
berapa
do it?
ni?
That is really the question.
Semalam
Well, let's
habis
get
pukul
ready
1 lebih.
now
Rasa
for the
dia tu dah
next
kot, lebih kurang
one. We
tu,
have
lebih habis.
Dizzy Esports Savage Elite, and look at those
Jadi
percentages.
lebih kurang 10 minit
Absolutely
dia akan start
insane. It's
next match.
Yeah,
Jadi
both
kalau
teams
korang
are
belum
just
tekan butang follow, korang
good.
follow. Man, terima kasih
Dizzy
follow. Muhammad, terima
Esports
kasih follow.
had, I think so far now
Last
3
minute, terima kasih
matches which
follow.
they played. every single match
Yang mana belum
in this
follow,
double
dia tekan
elimination
button follow dulu,
bracket
jadi kita
has
datang
been
balik, guys.
15
Lebih
stars
kurang 10
for
minit
them.
lagi.
It's completely unreal. They had really impressive times, and I feel like it won't be an easy task whatsoever for their opponents, because they have shown up and they have now lost only once. But the question as well is, can they recover mentally now after their loss? Because that sometimes can kind of really destroy the mental of a team as well. But Eric, Savage Elite is looking really strong as well.
Yeah, they're a tough team to beat, and they've had like one mistake to put them in the lower bracket there, and that's all it took. But they were able to have the clutch factor to be able to take on HTM and get their revenge, knocking them out of the competition, not just down to a lower bracket like they did to them, but they are trying to get back into the World Championship to go defend their title. That's what I think everybody wants to see as well. I think a lot of people like to see when a team is able to make a return appearance to the World Championship after they won the World Championship last year, so they can go and defend their title. But I look at that freeze right there. I mean, look at that freeze that like goes on the sweeper right there. I still love that card when he did that in the match right there. But yeah, they are doing incredible things here. They are playing very, very well, but I am a little concerned about whether they're going to be playing fast enough to be able to take on DZ, because we just saw DZ playing incredibly fast there, and I don't really know where this is going to play out. It feels like a coin flip to me, Woody.
It really does to me too. I think that if I were, held up against the wall and forced to make a pick, I'd say that there's a big psychological edge that you can't really underestimate, with Savage Elite having already won a match today and Disney Esports having lost a match today. I think that changes the sort of dynamic in this match, where it's, well, Savage Elite is going to continue their streak, right? And Disney Esports is the one that now has to turn things around. Even though Disney has gone perfect so far this entire month, 15 stars, 15 stars, 15 stars, back to back to back. They just took an L on a really tight one that they probably felt like they should have won. They were doing really well for much of it, had turned the tide at one point, and it was until Fluxy's incredible, really rapid attack, it seemed like they were going to get the win. So Dizzy is going to be a little bit demoralized from that. Savage Esports, still the reigning world champions, are going to be at their best in this next one. It's going to be an incredible, maybe the closest match that we've seen so far this month.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing match. You do not want to miss it, but I'm going to break down one of the attacks that we saw in the last match with VM Legacy here. So we have Cynthia's attack. So take note right here in the beginning. Take a look at this invisibility spell tower. What he's going to do, so we'll go ahead and play it here. This arrow is going to fly across the base, and it's going to be able to grab the value. Look at this, fly across here and take out the damage all the way through there, but mainly activate the invisibility spell tower. And because that was activated, this town hall comes back to life to be able to push these dragons right
atau
through.
sebenarnya roket lu untuk dapatkan
Clean
defend di bahagian
and
atas
King
ya.
are going to be
Minta maaf,
responsible for coming
okay.
down here,
Dan
while
Invis Tower
the
untuk dapatkan
dragons are moving their way right
untuk
towards
di
the
unlock
top
sebenarnya,
side
bukan untuk dapatkan,
into
tapi
the core.
untuk unlock awal
Breaking
supaya
that
Belon
down,
boleh
popping the king ability
dijatuhkan
does
di kawasan
lure
Town
out
Hall, dan
one of
Belon
the
boleh
ice
dapatkan Town
golems
Hall dan
that
diklon
comes
di
down here,
kawasan
but
Town
he's
Hall
able
lah.
to, take that down.
Okay.
An additional ice golem, but what I wanted to point out was the fact of the
Jadi
arrow
hero
flying through the base
dia
and
gunakan King dan Queen untuk memotong di kawasan bawah kerana tidak memerlukan wall ataupun tidak memerlukan wall breaker untuk masukkan hero ke kawasan dalam. Jadi naga boleh digunakan untuk fokus ke bahagian tengah base. Jadi itulah salah satu cara untuk anda counter base yang ada Invis Tower di bahagian tengah ataupun di sebelah Town Hall. Okey, kerana Invis Tower hanya memerlukan damage sahaja, tidak memerlukan teruk untuk berada di kawasan vampiran untuk di-unlock. Jadi dengan Giant Arrow sudah memadai untuk mengaktifkan Invis Tower tersebut. Okey, jadi korang boleh lepaskan Battle Beam dan Close Spell untuk dapatkan Town Hall.
To fly in and take out the town hall or take out the valley, because if you don't activate that early and the blimp makes it to
Tak faham tua ni aku tahu main je. Tua ni dia format dia lain sedikit. Okey, format dia sedikit lain, tapi cara masuk tu sama je lah. Kita register dekat in-game saja untuk setiap hujung bulan. Nak tengok live dia macam mana? Ni saya live ni. Tapi kalau abang nak tengok live bahasa Inggeris, tengok dekat YT COC lah. Tapi saya sebagai creator Malaysia, saya cover lah untuk bahasa Melayu punya. Walaupun saya bukan official caster yang dilantik oleh Special untuk cast bahasa Melayu, tapi diorang benarkan saya untuk cover sendiri.
Hi Eric, very happy to be here. Wow, what an amazing match we have chance to watch. Like Dizzy and VM watching to fight
macam diorang tahu, macam diorang dia tu yang main zaman final. Yes, sebab diorang memang mendominasi. Sebabkan macam cakap tadi awal. Okey, aku harap aku punya suara tak clash dengan sound in game. Okey, kenapa muka-muka sama je yang layak main dekat World Champion punya qualifier dan tua-tua besar ni? Okey, kenapa saya dengar macam tak sama je? Sebab saya bahasa Melayu, dia bahasa Inggeris, dan audio saya kecilkan. Okey, sambung balik. Kenapa muka sama sahaja? Jawapan dia satu, konsisten dan apa ni, kekal konsisten lah. Okey, dan improve lah, konsisten dan improve. Imran Faizal, terima kasih follow. Sebab COC ni dia punya tournament, dia bukan ada qualifier untuk region tau. Macam korang tengok game-game lain, kita ada PUBG ataupun ML, diorang ada liga dekat region-region tersendiri. Dekat Malaysia ada liga, ada qualifier sendiri. Okey, dekat Indo ada. Alright, so boleh nampak kompetitif untuk setiap region lah, ataupun setiap negara. Tetapi untuk COC ni, dia terus tahap world. Korang faham tak? Dia terus tahap dunia. Jadi tidak ada kualifikasi untuk setiap benua ataupun setiap negara. As long as korang main COC, korang boleh register sendiri dalam game, dan korang kena betul-betul capai tahap kompetitif yang sangat-sangat tinggi untuk lawan dengan dorang ni. Okay, untuk kalahkan muka-muka yang sama ni. Alright, faham tak? Aku harap korang faham. Okay, that's why susah kita nak nampak muka-muka baru untuk setiap tahun. Kecuali China je saya boleh kata diorang ni memang adalah nama-nama baru ataupun muka-muka yang baru. Sebab diorang tak konsisten. Anyone can beat them untuk wakil China. Tapi China punya region kan asing dengan global sekarang ni. So mungkin diorang tu lagi senang lah untuk kita nampak muka lain-lain. Tapi diorang tu kalau tak di asing pun, apa ni, kata potensi untuk kita nampak muka lain-lain pun ada juga. Sebab diorang punya player meramai gila. COC kat China tu memang OP. Komuniti diorang mau OP. Okay.
Impressed by how they are changing, also
Okay,
the
faham,
strategy
mantap.
they are using. I really have feeling that previous
Dia kalau tak faham juga macam ni lah, macam korang sekolah kan. Macam korang sekolah, korang nak, kalau apa ni, main tournament, nak wakil sekolah tu, kalau lah dibuat pertandingan untuk setiap kelas ataupun qualifier untuk setiap kelas, berkemungkinan korang mungkin, contoh korang kelas A, kita ada sampai kelas A, B, C, D, E lah, contoh E. Okey, kita ada 5 jenis kelas. Kalau lah qualification tu dibuat untuk setiap kelas, korang mungkin akan nampak muka lain-lain lah. Okey, sebab mungkin contoh korang kelas A kan, korang asyik nampak kelas A muka ni, korang tak apa kenal sangat kelas B, C, D, E. Okey, so mungkin korang jarang nampak muka dorang. Jadi kalau korang layan kelas-kelas lain punya qualification, mungkin korang kenal. Okey, jadi untuk macam COC punya tournament ni, dia umpama nak cari wakil sekolah ataupun nak cari champion sekolah, engkau buat qualifier open terus. Setiap kelas tu boleh main
What's your
boleh
thoughts
main
behind Dizzy? I'm
dan
thinking
boleh
because
bertembung
they did
sesama
so
sendiri.
well, they had
Faham
such
tak?
incredible
Kalau
times.
macam
I'm thinking they're gonna come back and
kualifikasi
try to get the revenge
kualifikasi
against
untuk
VM
setiap
Legacy.
kelas
What
tu,
about you? What's your
kelas A
thoughts?
lawan kelas A.
Yeah,
Jadi
I
siapa
heard the
yang
same. I think
champion
they're
kelas
going
A
to be
akan
really
lawan kelas
happy to
lain.
get that revenge versus VM
Tapi
Legacy.
kalau qualification
They had just such incredible
open macam
results,
Soxy buat sekarang ni,
not only on stars,
belum
but as
dapat
well on
champion
time.
untuk
In fact,
kelas
it's the
A,
impressive
korang dah
thing.
boleh
They're not
jumpa
only consistent with three-starring,
kelas E,
but as
kelas
well
B.
consistent with those
Faham
really
tak?
quick times. Yes,
Dia
they have,
open,
like,
sangat-sangat
skill
open.
attack here
So,
and there, but still most of those attacks are still
dia tidak
quicker
ada
than
champion
the
setiap
attack
kelas
of
lah.
Savage Elite,
So
which
siapa
is
yang
why
betul-betul
with
champion
them,
layak
community on the other side,
untuk
though,
dapat
thinks
wakil
that
sekolah.
Savage
Macam tu lah
Elite
lebih
is
kurang.
having the upper hand.
Faham tak?
Again, maybe because of the names,
Aku nak kau
maybe
faham tu.
not.
Kalau
We
tak
don't
faham
know,
tolong
but
bagi tahu
either
tu.
way, community
Okey.
thinks that
Kalau
Savage
tak
Elite
faham
is
tolong
going
bagi
to
tahu.
win,
Aku nak
which means
tahu
they're
kau
more
faham
the
ke tak apa
sort
aku
of
explain ni.
moody. That's I think
China,
why watching
Indo,
Champions
okey sikit
League next,
komuniti
because
orang ya.
why do you think
Tak ada war
you
ke?
and the community
Abang nampak tak
are
masa
with this
dekat
prediction?
bawah? Kan ada
Well, I outlined it a little
masa
bit
kan dekat
already
bawah.
earlier.
Dekat
Savage
bawah tu
Elite
kan.
have a win today, whereas Dizzy Esports
ada
have a
time kat
loss.
situ tuliskan.
So for both
Itulah
sides,
countdown
they
dia,
are
bang.
gonna be trying to
Nama pun
maintain,
tournament, jadi kita ada masa
the
dah lah.
possibility of a win, but with
Dia
Savage
bukannya
Esports already having momentum in their favor and Dizzy Esports
saya punya live
against them,
attack war
Savage
ke
Esports
bukan.
also of course being the
Okay.
reigning world champions, Savage Esports also being a team that has had many deep bracket experiences for many years now and have been able to emerge victorious even when they've got their backs up against the wall. I think that
Faham.
this is just like
Seorang je
a
faham,
script
mantap.
that is written perfectly for them to continue a run
Yang
through
lain
the
tak dengar
bottom
ke?
bracket, just like we saw last month with Synchronic going all the way from the lower brackets quarterfinals until the very grand final match of the month. It seems like it's just like the perfect opportunity for them to verify all of the great
Masa
expectations
kat mana?
that so many players out
Mungkin
there
kat
have
komen
had
tu
for
kot.
them, and it
Cuba
seems
abang
that the
tutup
fans
komen.
out
Kita
there right
nampak
now
masa.
are also expecting Savage Esports to
Dia
pick up
ketik
the
dengan
win.
komen kalau kat
But
JP.
because all three of you took Dizzy Esports, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. I wonder, Eric, if you want to kind of bounce off of that and share your perspective too.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of in line with where Carbon Fin and Itzy were sitting. However, it is time for this match to get going here. So myself and Carbon Fin are going to be stepping off here, and so we're going to pass it over to you guys. So Itzu and
Nampak tak?
Willie, take it
Dia
away
tak
here,
nampak.
and good luck to the teams.
Saya terpaksa buat macam ni sebab
Yeah, this match should
bila
be
tak
for
potong
sure
nanti
an epic
korang tak
one.
nampak sangat
Community and
teruk-teruk
Woody
COC
on the
sebab
Savage Elite side
sekarang punya meta
with
memang
them,
meta
Eric, Carbon and me on the
multitasking.
Dizzy, side.
Dekat atas
Either
deploy
way,
teruk, kat bawah
both
deploy
teams
teruk
have
dalam masa yang
proven
sama.
that
Jadi
they
korang tak
can
apa.
have those incredible,
Kalau zoom in nanti tak apa
consistent, but as
nampak.
well fast
Dia lepas kat
attacks.
mana, dia lepas kat
And
mana.
Dizzy Esports are actually the team
Akankah
to
Dr.
start
Mustafa dan
things
Syafuni
off.
comeback
They
lagi?
want to
Tak
have a
pasti.
good impression because we
Agaknya
have
tak
seen
ada
Savage
tak
Elite
nampak pun
earlier.
nama diorang
They can
naik
sometimes
balik.
struggle
Tengok lah kalau
when
dua
they're
raja sponsor
getting put under pressure.
budak-budak legend balik mungkin comeback lah kot.
Sometimes they can, but you know, this is another thing that I think is in their column that just like really kind of stacks up another advantage for Savage Elite. They get a chance to respond to the attacks from Dizzy Esports.
Sejak diorang
So
menang
Savage
champion
Elite is
dekat
going to have the final
2021
attack of the day.
tu
They're going to know
tak ada.
exactly what they have to do on their
21
fifth and final
22
hit.
22.
It really
Jadi
means
sekarang
a
kita ada
lot,
Kai
I think,
untuk
when
Dizzy
you
Sport.
see any mistake on either side of the battlefield.
Respel
Uh,
untuk Rider
if
sekarang
Dizzy
ni.
Esports
Saya dah
slips up
mula
early
down sikit lah.
on, then Savage
Okay,
Elite
saya dah
know
mula
that they
slow
can
sikit
just
lah
coast
casting
to
sebab
victory.
nak dekat ke 12 lah.
If Savage Elite is the one that messes up
Sorry
early
saya
on,
pun
Dizzy
dah
Esports
barai
still
ni,
have
minta
to
maaf lah.
play at 100% because they don't get to see the final attack from Savage Elite until they've already committed all 5 of their hits. So we'll go to Kai first. We'll see that overgrowth spell dropped in kind of the north center spot here. He's trying to
Jadi,
finish off that
Respel di
monolith
kawasan
with a
bawah
couple
sekarang
more
ni.
super barbarians to make sure that that doesn't cause any problem for heroes
Dia
at the end.
champion,
He does barely
ability
manage
terus
to get it
digunakan
done.
bersama dengan Respel beliau.
Cleanup might be a little bit
Dan
slower as
ada
a result. He's
dua
holding
free
on to 2
spell
more
untuk
free spells
digunakan.
ready to shut down the town
Adakah
hall and
3
make a
bintang
scatter
untuk
shot.
Kai? Free spell
No,
Town
there's
Hall,
still a
cantik.
single target in front
Value
of it
free
he's
spell
gotta
beliau. Oh, bahaya
freeze
untuk
up
Kai
first.
sekarang ni. Mungkin
But
1
this is a
bintang
pretty
akan jadi
quick
milik
attack
beliau.
overall, and I think that
Oh,
Dizzy
Kai.
Esports could be happy with it.
I don't
Kai?
think they're going to be happy with it at all because this
Oh.
is going to be a 1-star. The hero dive in the beginning
Satu bintang
went
daripada Kai kali
completely
ni.
not your plan.
Untuk
The
Dizzy
King
Sport.
did not take down the Inferno Tower or
Ini
the
mungkin
Monolith.
akan,
The Queen did not get her value either. And
menjadi
now he has to
punca
face a
utama
single
kenapa
Inferno
Dizzy
Tower
Sport
protecting that
disingkirkan
tower.
untuk
You
hari
can see
ini.
already, he is not happy with this result whatsoever.
Sayang sekali Kai.
And we have talked about it. How can they
Terciduk
recover
untuk serangan
from
pertama.
their loss? And it feels like that there were quite
Oh,
some
sayang,
nerves
sayang,
in
sayang.
play because there were a lot of mistakes, especially with this opening. King not getting the value, Monolith surviving,
97%
Mujaverto
untuk Kai.
surviving, so he
Dengan
has to
satu
reinforce
bintang
with
di
the
sini.
Super Barbarians and a Rage, which then was completely
1 minit
missing on the
42
back
saat.
end.
Dia end battle ke apa?
Well, this is
Nampak
only
lah.
the
Kan
second
tak boleh ke end battle dalam tournament?
one-star attack that we've seen. I just
Boleh,
took
end
it for
battle.
granted that he had enough army to finish
Takut
this
kena
thing off.
DQ attack.
I was really just watching the time
Elok
that was
satu star tu kena DQ.
remaining and the shape of the
Siapa nama
base,
team
but
dari China tahun
you're
lalu
right,
dapat nombor
when
3?
I was about to toss it back off to you, I was like, where did the rest of the army go? Where are the Root Riders? They just
Aku ingat Boom Academy,
evaporated.
siapa dia?
Single target infernos really have been, I guess,
Oh,
an
dah pula.
issue. And leaving that town hall up to the very end, a
Lupa lah.
risky maneuver that has resulted in a 1-star before for Savage Elite. Maybe they learned their lesson and are turning that same sort of strategy against their foes.
Tapi ingat guys,
I mean, this is a
Team China tahun
huge
lepas.
pickup for Savage Elite. Out of the
Saya lupa
gate,
lah.
they already get a 2-star advantage on defense.
Yeah, they are really happy with
Okay,
their defense.
lepas
The
tu,
thing now though is that they have to take advantage of that
untuk
on offense and have
Savage
to make
Elite,
sure that they are
itu
playing
juara
safe.
bertahan
The good
untuk
thing
World
for us as
Championship.
well is that we have now, or the players have now the freedom of
Adakah
playing
mereka
whatever
akan
they want. They
dapatkan
cannot play
golden
those more
ticket
safer
untuk kali ni?
approaches, which means they can go with
Sebelum
their
itu,
crazy
Pato
lava
perlu
take, for
menang
example, or a queen charge
untuk
approach
perlawanan
and
ini.
things like that. Let's see if they're
Ricky
going to
masuk
do
di
that
kawasan
over
atas.
the match. For now, Pato is in with the Root Riders and those Valkyries again. with the
RR
hero
masuk di
dive,
kawasan kanan
and let's
sekarang
hope that
ni,
this
sama
hero
dengan
dive is going to
Valkyrie.
work better for him
Sis
than,
Beret
well,
pada rajam
the
12,
attacker of
masuk
this
ke Royal
esports.
Champion. King Queen
You are
akan
gonna
masuk di
see
kawasan
safe
dalam
3-star
sekarang ini.
hits from across the board now that Savage Elite have a 2-star lead. They know that they can even miss an attack with a 2-star of their own. And even if Dizzy Esports goes perfect from here on out,
Overgrowth di
Savage Elite
kawasan
can
tengah.
take that
Hilangkan
3-star
Town Hall
win.
dan,
I think that what we were
Mati
expecting
SKO dan
to
juga
be a
single
very
Inferno.
close war is actually has the
Lepaskan
potential to be a
Scatter
very
Spell untuk
long
mengganggu
war with
Queen
Savage Elite
defensif.
taking no risks
Hunter telah boleh
whatsoever
bunuh
and
oleh
making sure that
Trap
they do
sendiri.
everything in their power to guarantee 3 stars and not worry at all about time now, Itsu.
Dua free spell
Yeah,
dengan
he doesn't
satu
want to
race
worry
spell
about
lagi
time
tinggal.
whatsoever, but the
Royal
Queen is in
Champion
that
masih
corner.
lagi
As
ada di
soon as
kawasan
that
atap sama dengan
overgrowth
Queen
is
yang
running
berada
out,
di
he has the
pertengahan
opportunity
base.
to take down the Town Hall
Terus
instantly
lepaskan
with
free
that
spell
Queen
untuk
ability.
Town Hall dan
But the
Queen
tower explosion
ability.
itself could be problematic.
Untuk
The
dapatkan
poison
Town
is
Hall
there as
sekarang
well,
ni.
but the core
Yang
is
berbaki
getting
satu race
evaporated.
spell,
With
3
those
bintang
Root Riders now
kemantapan
finishing
untuk
off the
Pato.
scatter compartment, and that's going to
Luffy,
be
terima kasih
another
follow.
3-star. Actually, the first 3-star in
Tu
this
dia.
match, and Savage
Mantap
Elite is
sekali
doing
serangan daripada
exactly
Pato.
what was expected from
Satu
them,
minit,
and even
20
doing a quick
saat
work
untuk
on
beliau.
top. So, really good start for them. Getting a 3-star, getting a solid defense. It could not get
Yang
any
kalahkan
better
Navi tu,
than
tak
this
ingat?
from this point
Ni
on.
tak ingat?
And maybe we
Dia
have
dah nama team dia.
another dream comeback story from the lower bracket as we had already in the last qualifier.
Betul-betul tak ingat. Diorang tak main dah ke?
Yeah, I mean, we can't
Tak
chisel
ingat
it
dah
in
nama.
stone yet,
Saya rasa
but
macam
Savage
ada
Elite have just
player
had the
dekat di situ
best
nama
possible
ni
start
ke bukan?
for a
Entahlah,
war
player
to get
China
a
ni saya ingat
1-star
lupa.
defense and then pick up a quick 3-star offense
Saya ingat
from their
lupa
first
je.
attacker. All 4 of their other attackers already saw the first hit from Dizzy, and we're reconfiguring their entire army, saying, okay, we don't need to worry about time. We don't need to worry about getting the maximum possible value out of every single little troop here. We just have to take it slow,
Patut dia
use
suka
all
spell
3
akal
minutes if
hati kita
necessary,
semalam sampai habis
plan
untuk
for
dapat
the
satu star.
perfect precision strikes
Tak,
on
memang
every single
memang
defense.
meta macam tu lah.
I think it's going to be a walk
Letak
in the park for
overgrowth
Savage
dekat
Elite
Town
at
Hall
this
sekarang
point.
ni
I'm
meta.
really worried that
Kalau
Dizzy
tengok balik
are
tournament,
just not
kebanyakan
going to be
attack
able
macam tu.
to even get
Dizzy
any
Sport pun buat
momentum
macam tu.
back on their side at all. They need 3 stars consistently all the way throughout, but I guess in their defense, they probably don't have to worry about time either. They're going to have to rely on getting
Letak overgrowth
probably
supaya RR
multiple
dapatkan
defenses
value kat
off
kawasan
of
luar
Savage
tu.
Esports at this point,
Itu function
and
dia.
maybe try to win on percentage.
Well, that is what they can hope for. At the same time, we have
Halo,
seen from
selamat
them
datang,
already in the
keluarga
earlier match
Titi, apa
what they
khabar?
have done. Sorry, what they have done when the match is not coming down to the 15-15 tie possibility. They have used multiple overgrowth spells, which typically slows down the attack. Like the one overgrowth spell is like the sweet spot where it comes down to like time and really giving you a lot of power. But then adding more and more can make your attack even stronger if used correctly. But this is then where it gets slower as well. This is what they have done earlier in the tournament when the 15-15 score was off the table. So that is something for sure I'm looking forward to then maybe what they're going to use again in their
sekarang ni
next
untuk
attacks
Dizzy Spot.
when, well, they just are going for those safer options and 3 stars.
Next attack will be Ueta against Pato. Ueta for Disney Esports is completely changing the way that this war is going to be shaped up now. He is in the most high pressure position because After having seen that 1-star from his teammate, he knows he has a very short amount of time to reconfigure his attack, redesign everything.
Jadi
Is he just going to
Zeta
stick with the plan that he was already
sekarang
working on?
ni
Does he have
Dizzy
another way of
Sport
trying to approach this space? He's going to bring
King
no
dengan
overgrowth
jump
spells
spell.
whatsoever.
Daripada atas.
Yeah, so
Rider
completely different.
masuk
Suggesting
radial
that he thinks
10.
that this might actually
Dia
be
akan terus digunakan.
a war that goes down to time, or that
Dapatkan queen
maybe this
defensif.
just isn't
One
the right
hit
sort of
saja.
base to
Wow.
be dropping that sort of
Dibantu oleh
offense.
Hunter
But
sebenarnya.
either way, he's dropped a
King
lot of
dapat
troops,
Royal
almost all of them,
Champion
except
sekarang
for the
ini.
Super Barbarians to clean up along the edges. Root Riders are collapsing
Hidup Asbel oleh
toward the
Phoenix.
interior from this left corner with a little bit of difficulty, but a pretty nice fan. Got to keep the DPS high and should be able to get to the town hall soon after.
Nampaknya
Archqueen's in a
Warden
little bit of
diserang
peril up
oleh
there.
Hunter,
Pops
tapi
her
mujur
ability when
Warden
the
berada
healer pod's
dalam
coming out. They're actually going to switch off
Ada
of her.
dalam apa ni Iteratum.
This is
Jadi
looking
dapat
really
immune
gnarly,
serangan
too.
daripada Headhunter.
Yeah, he
Sekarang
is
ni Rider akan
switching
terus
to those
dihilangkan
Root
oleh
Riders in the
Monolith.
core, doing a great job there. The King has got off the value on the top side. The Queen has gotten the Town Hall. And with that
Sementara
Royal Champion ability,
Superminion
I
yang
think he
keluar
should be
daripada
able to
sisi
power
barat
through with the
daripada arah
Superminions now
bawah.
clearing out the bottom side.
Dia
There
dapatkan
goes the
Eagle.
Royal Champion. As
Royal
long as he's not
Champion
catching
terus
too many
digunakan
giant
ability dengan
bombs, I
Race
think it should
Spell.
be still right. Even though the Lava Hound can be problematic,
Champion
but
dapat
those
Monolith.
Spawn Hog Riders with the Royal
1
Champion
minit 10,
equipment is
1:08
just
berlalu
really,
sekarang
really
ni.
powerful.
Satu lagi free
And
spare
this
akan
gives
digunakan
them
di
the
mana?
free star. Again, not the
Sebab saja
quickest,
free
but at
spare
this
tersebut.
point, this is not something anymore
Jadi
which they have to look
1
out for.
minit
It's just about getting those
25
free stars
saat mungkin
consistently, and at the same time, hoping for one of
untuk
those miracle
Yueta.
defenses.
26 saat untuk
So
Yueta.
I guess
Nice
that
try.
will be what they're going for after all, even though
Yang menang ni dapat golden ticket ke?
I mean,
Yep.
that was a very fast attack from Dizzy, a minute and 20 seconds.
Dapat
if
golden
I-
ticket.
Or 27
27.
seconds, a little bit slower than that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Halo,
I think
selamat
instead
datang.
of trying to hope that they peel off
Selamat
a couple
datang, apa
of
khabar?
2-star defenses, they're hoping for a 1-star defense of their own that would then keep time relevant here. The only other 1-star attack that we saw yesterday from Savage Lee was also a 1-star 97%. It's not the worst idea in the world if you already know how you want to shape up your attacks, if you don't want to try to completely rewrite your entire strategy book from the beginning. I guess it's fine to keep going ahead with your plan, not worrying about what your other players are going to do, just focusing solely on yourself. They know what has worked in the past for them. They've been perfect so far this entire month, except for that one attack. But I just think that this is the time when you really start to see an advantage for teams that can adapt on the fly,
Jadi
that
kita
can
akan
think on
lihat
their
serangan
feet, that are
seterusnya
quick
selepas ini,
to
guys.
recognize a weakness or an opportunity. And so far, it really seems like Savage Elite is that team.
Yeah, now it's back to them.
Sementara
and
itu
actually
kita
decide
lihat
what
bracket sekarang
strategy
ni,
they're going for. As again,
di mana
we're
anda
seeing
sedang
the
melihat
bracket.
perlawanan
This is
ke-9
the lower
di
semi-finals,
antara Savage
which
Elite
means
dengan
whoever's going to win
Dizzy
this is
Esport.
having the chance in the grand finals
Dan
to face
siapakah
off
yang
against
akan
VM
menang
Legacy. Dizzy
untuk
Esports
bertemu
wants
dengan
to
VM
get
Legacy
their
di grand
rematch.
final?
But
Kita akan
probably
lihat
looking not too good for them.
dalam
On the other
live
side, we have
match
Savage
ni.
Elite. They
Navi
could
out ke
have
Navi
the
DQ?
same comeback story as we have already seen last month, dropping down in the first match and then winning everything in the lower bracket to somehow make it back to the finals and give it their all to somehow get to the golden ticket, which is still a long road ahead. I mean, it's not going to be an easy road whatsoever. Finishing this match and then beating VM Legacy twice, this is a really tough one.
Incredibly tough and a really unfortunate position for Dizzy, knowing that they were going up against the world champions and knowing that they needed to get every single second that they possibly could. I think that is what led to the slip up in the first hit. Savage Elite now with a 3-star of their own are going to try to get a second now, as Leo is going to be attacking Yaga. He is a 3-star master, has not missed one yet. And I think that we can expect the same here now, as he's going to be moving in with an overgrowth spell, siege barracks. This is going to be probably a very powerful hit that doesn't need to really optimize on time. Leo might be the first attacker in this war that has kind of recognized the shape of the star race, with Savage Elite far and ahead. They just need to stay ahead. They don't need to overcome any tiebreaker advantage that Dizzy Esports could possibly even get.
Yeah, and again, this time around it's on the opener. We have seen the one fail being well, the opening did not go to plan. The jump, the king, the queen, they did not get their value. This time around, though, Leo is looking way better with his opening. The king really getting all of the value needed. The poison is there. The queen equipment is there as well to keep those heroes alive. Even with skeleton spear on the back end, where the root riders are strongly pushing into those back end defenses and making sure that they're going down. The superminions out there as well, being able to crush those walls. Even though they're getting caught inside the dread trap, they can still deal a lot of damage there.
Caught in the tornado and also soaking a few black air bombs. Not great news for Leo, but again, not going to be a major
Ya, saya kembali di sini just for you, thank you for the gift.
Raged up now to take down both the monolith and the town
Yang mana
hall.
muka
This
Tauke
base is
spesial?
crushed.
Ha.
Leo the
mana
Lion
muka
roars
Tauke?
again with a 3-star for Savage Elite. This is going
Kenapa muka
exactly
Tauke pula
according to
dicari?
plan for them, with a 2-star advantage still over Dizzy Esports. And relatively quick
Jadi minta maaf saya
right
terlepas.
alongside. They're winning on stars.
Jadi Leo
they're
mendapat
winning
1
on
minit 20
percentage
saat.
destruction, they're
3
winning
bintang
on
di sini.
time. Savage Elite are in the
Untuk
driver's
Savage
seat,
Elite.
and they can barely see Dizzy Esports in their rearview mirror.
Yeah, it is not the best position to be in. 2 stars behind is
Lama dah tak
a lot
nampak
in the
track
current
gaming
meta.
Apa
And
cerita track
especially I
gaming
feel like
sekarang?
whenever we see those
Dia
1
tak
stars,
perform
they
ke?
typically happen early on in the match, and it's always so hard as well, just on a mental thing. Coming from a loss, starting with a 1 star, it's really hard to come back from that. And well, they still have to hope for a defense while at the same time doing as good as possible on their
Selamat
own
datang semua,
offense
apa
and
khabar?
getting those 3 stars in.
All right, well, we're going to be going back to Dizzy Esports once again.
Si
and
pancik ni,
you're
guys.
right. It's a pretty
Tolong guys, saya dah
depressing
pancik
position
ni.
to have to be in, because they know that they need
Tak
3
ada
stars
apa-apa
from
yang
here
boleh
on
buat saya tak
out.
pancik,
They
guys.
don't know if they need to be optimizing for time. They don't know if they need to just be making safe plays. It's just like questions that are bubbling up in their mind that just really have no right answer for them. The only thing that they need for sure are 3 stars and a defense at some point against a
Lagi nak
team
tahu.
that seems unstoppable at this point. Savage Elite have shown no weaknesses whatsoever. It hasn't even really been a close hit for either of their first 2 attacks in
Saya
this
pun tak
war.
tahu.
Dizzy Esports' spaces are already set, and with even more time to prepare for their 3rd, 4th, and 5th hits, I think that Savage Elite are going to be very tough
Tak
to
minat sangat
stop.
tengok tu ni
But
actually final
Dizzy
je.
Esports
Cuma nak sembang dengan abang
are
je.
solid attackers.
Abang apa dia
They've
cakap
had
tu?
perfect wars so far.
Dia
I expect
kata
to see them close out with
korang kena
13
support Encik
stars
Elok
in
ni
the
supaya
end.
dapat jadi content
We're
creator
just waiting a few more
Melayu
seconds
yang
now
pertama
before the
dapat
admins
apa
give
ni
the go-ahead
kereta
for
kod.
the
Jadi
middle of this
ya
war
korang
to
kena
begin.
terus
The
bagi
3rd
sokongan.
attack will be coming in from
Okey.
Dizzy Esports to set,
Dan teruskan bagi
the
sokongan
mid-stage now.
apa
It's
saja
gonna
yang
be
korang
coming
mampu.
from Chen against Selinho.
Alright, tanpa kurang memang
And expecting to see more
Tak ada lah.
Riders really does
Encik
seem
Elok,
to
macam
be
tu ada
far
kata.
ahead. The favorite from Dizzy Esports, just a few
Jadi sekarang ni
Mass
Chen
Dragons,
untuk
have
Dizzy
been
Esport.
racing the battlefield so far, but Root Riders really cannot be overstated as the meta troop right now that has had so much favor from so
sekarang
many
ni
pros. And it is going to
Chen
be a Root Rider
dengan
army
ability yang
complemented once again with Valkyries and
meta
other great
sekarang ni,
troops
Giant
to
Golem
clear
untuk
out, get some
King,
great splash
Frozenero
damage. As
untuk
long as the
Queen,
Root Riders are tearing down those walls,
Lingtom untuk
Valkyries will
Warden,
rip to shreds
dan
whatever remains in the interior.
Hawk
Chen
untuk
setting
his
up
fire
his 3
untuk Royal
heroes
Champion.
here, kind of on a spread
Itu
path.
dah dia
Queen
masuk
on
ke
the
kawasan
right corner,
atas.
King in the
King
middle,
masuk
ready
di
to jump over
kawasan
the walls
dalam
as soon
sekarang
as
ni
he
dengan
can get
jump
there.
spell di
Although he's
situ.
taking a lot of damage early on.
Terus digunakan
And,
King
Great
ability.
Warden up top to protect
Dengan
the
si
Root
Spirit
Riders.
daripada Raja
Siege
6.
Barracks now on the bottom corner,
Terus
and
masuk
Chen
ke
is
Royal
going
Champion
at
bersama
full
dengan
speed now, ready to hop on
Root
into the
Rider.
core of this
Terus
base and
gunakan
deal as much
ability.
damage as he can in a
Dan
short
Spell
amount
Bug
of
boleh
time.
lepaskan di kawasan
Overgrowth to
luar
shut
sebentar
down
lagi.
Town Hall,
Dan
and it's gonna be
Overgrowth
another wraparound attack, although he
digunakan
misses the
untuk
ricochet
menghilangkan
cannon there
Town
in the corner.
Hall dan juga Monolith.
Yeah, but the king did get all of the value needed, making sure though that the one
45 saat telah pun berlalu untuk Chen. Queen masih lagi hidup di kawasan bawah sekarang ini. Queen keluarkan ability-nya, Ibis Buyer, dan cuba dapatkan Legacy Cannon dan juga Poison Tower di situ. Mantap sekali Queen. Dan berbaki satu respell untuk digunakan oleh Rider beliau di kawasan tengah sekarang ni. Tidak begitu pantas untuk Chen, tapi free spell sekarang ni untuk di kawasan Town Hall. Dengan Royal Champion ability terus digunakan. Sayang sekali tornado trap di situ untuk melewatkan masa Chen. Menarik banyak trup beliau. Jadi 1 minit 30 saat ataupun 28 saat untuk Chen. Nice try.
Clearly happy with the performance in that last hit. Not maybe his best attack ever.
Nice try daripada Chen.
3 stars is 3 stars, and he's happy with the finish there. Just missing that one little ricochet cannon, though, I can say already that that's the sort of mistake that you wouldn't typically see from a world championship team at the very top. He lost his Archer Queen to a forced ability after that, and it led to an average attack time that is still staying above a minute and a half for Dizzy Esports.
Santai guys, ini bukan official punya live ni saya buat ni.
Quicker than Kai's, but slower than
Lebih pada
Ueda's.
bahasa Melayu punya cover.
It looks like Dizzy Esports
Santai guys.
doing well.
Dah hilang dah
but just not
viewer-viewer yang
able to
rajin komen ni.
overcome,
Aduh,
that
kecewa
really
saya.
big miss from Kai early on. So back to Savage Elite now. They've got 3 more attacks, and
Sejak
like
saya
we said
berak
before,
tadi
even
hilang
if
dah.
they slip up and get a 2-star on one of them, they'll still have a full star advantage over their opponents. Dizzy Esports have got to hope that they can somehow win on a percentage tiebreak with multiple defenses or something
Mungkin
really
sebab saya tak buka
that throws
webcam tu
Savage
kan.
Elite
Tapi saya
out of
takut
whack.
kalau saya buka webcam
But
nanti
with Kano
ramai
being the only player on
ramai
the
sangat
Savage
yang
Elite squad
komen.
that has missed
Sebab
a
saya pakai
3-star
tudung ni.
all this
Risau.
entire tournament, him having already put up a triple of his own this war, I think that it looks like a really solid roster to finish out the rest of this attack, and ought to expect to see another perfect war from Savage Elite next.
Yeah, and I feel like especially frustrating is that Dizzy Esports, they don't have it in their own hands. Like, this is the one thing which might be the most frustrating feeling, because you're relying on your opponents to mess up because of your first couple of attacks. So that is, I feel like, really hard mentally to know, okay, we have to do the best we can possibly do, but in the end, we don't even have it in our own hands, and that can be kind
Jadi korang boleh earn reward in-game dekat link yang tertera di
It's
skrin anda
demoralizing.
sebut
And
tadi.
in a game like Clash of
Dengan
Clans, at the
prediction
top
yang
level
disediakan
of esports, you
untuk
have
qualifier
really
ni.
got to have everything line up in your favor. The stars have to align if you want to get that golden ticket. And so far, Dizzy Esports are finding the stars crashing down on them. It is just a cataclysmic miss to get a 1-star in your very first
Sekarang dia
strike.
berenang
It really
untuk
demoralizes
Savage
the
Elite.
entire team, gives everyone on the other side a big morale boost. I mean, just look at the smile on Bernal's face in this photo. You know that's exactly how he's feeling, if not even better, to be attacking third
Dia untuk
now
apa?
with his team ahead
Untuk
by 2 stars.
predict apa ni?
Bernal does not miss. And it's the
Predict
only player
tentang
on
tournament ni
Savage Elite
dah
who was
dapatkan
not on
in-game
the
reward.
roster for the World Championship run last year. He's got all the more on the line to try to make his name known, to try to be on that grand stage, get the big prize, become a world champion. He is not going to let this moment pass by him, Itsu.
Yeah, we actually see a Queen Charge Lalo attack. I love to see that we have this Queen Charge attack. We don't see
Jadi sekarang
Queen
ni kita
Charges that
ada
often anymore, so it's
Queen
really
Charge
nice that
Lalo
he's bringing it in
daripada
this
Bernal.
one. Even though it seems like the King is not walking in as intended. If he's delaying the next wall break, though, he might walk back, and that's exactly what is happening.
Okay,
He
Queen
wants to
Charge
have this
Lalo,
Queen
okay.
taking down the Monolith, and with the next wall break,
Jadi
he can
sekarang
then
Queen
reach even further into this
bersama
base.
dengan
with
Archer yang keluar
2
daripada
Jaffa
Clan
towers on the
Castle dengan
menu,
beberapa
and with
headhunter,
the
tapi
walls getting
Poison
destroyed on
mudah
the
saja
bottom side
untuk
because of the
menghilangkan
Flame Finger,
Clan Castle
he should
tersebut.
be able to get the wall break into that Clan Castle compartment to reach the Town Hall,
King
reach the
keluar
Rage
sekarang
Towers,
ni
reach the
setelah
scatter
menggunakan
shots,
ability
reach everything, even the
dengan wall breaker
sweepers.
untuk masukkan
That is that, an
Queen
incredible
ke
Queen
bahagian
Charge,
tengah
exactly
base
that's
untuk dapatkan
happening with
Town
this
Hall.
wall break.
Dan lalu akan
Bernal is
digulakan
almost
bila?
in practice mode right now, bringing this Laloon in. He knows that he can get a quick hit if necessary, but he has just not even
Jadi,
deployed the balloons at this point.
Respect
because he knows
digunakan
that he can just go
untuk
slow and steady
Queen
to win
sekarang
this
ni.
race.
Dengan Royal Champion ability bersama dengan Warden digunakan. Okey, dengan Headhunter untuk Royal Champion mengamuk di kawasan tengah. Respect kawasan Mountain Floor dan Eagle sekarang ni. Dan Bernal memilih combo yang agak makan masa kerana mereka mendahului dari segi bintang dan mereka perlukan strategi untuk confirm 3 star.
This base has been annihilated. The slowest attack so far, but showing a
Untuk
versatility
kekal
in
mendahului
the
dalam perlawanan ini.
attacking styles. Savage Elite bring a Laloon strike to finish off this base and give Bernal a good reason to rest easy after the 3rd attack from his team.
Yeah, that was a beautiful queen charge. Really knowing as well how those
Jadi
wall
1
breakers
minit
work,
56
because
saat
I've seen
untuk
this a lot of
Bernau.
times not done
Tapi
correctly, with people ignoring
masa bukan lagi
compartments
case
and
ataupun
areas of the base which have
bukan
walls
lagi
surrounding them, and
target
this is why wall
untuk
breakers
Savage
then
Elite
do not
kerana
walk
mereka
as
telah
intended and
pun
things like that. But
mendapat
Bernal
satu
perfect
defense yang
enough,
sangat-sangat
and he
mantap.
has the wall break in the key on one side, the flame flinger would do the job on the other side, because there was a defensive building touching that wall and opening the wall for him, so he only needs those overall. I think it was like 3 or 4 wall breaks and not any more or any less. Really knowing the limits, and wall breakers are actually one of the harder troops to learn how they actually path, because sometimes it's not really clear of what they're targeting and how they even work, because for some people it just looks like, well, there's a wall, it's not targeting it, sometimes it is, and really knowing and understanding them is a key thing for those queen charge attacks. I think that was really a masterclass from him, showcasing how to get his queen that deep into that base.
Well, you're certainly
Jadi,
right. This is something that we picked up on from
lebih kurang
Bernal's
seminit lagi
performance
untuk kita
since
lihat
back
serangan
in the days
seterusnya.
when he was playing in like CWL, back when he was competing in Poland on the
Yes,
live
guys,
stage.
sekarang mesti sekolah ke
He
guys?
just, although he's a great law
Guys,
player, and that's kind of what I was calling out
sekarang mesti
for
sekolah ke
most of
apa?
that attack, it really is the queen charge that he gets the most value
Saya tak tahu
from.
ni.
In order to get that queen deep on bases with high walls, you have to be able to crack through multiple different layers with those wall breaks.
Ke-
Bernal is
ke
maybe the
belum
best in the
sekolah
world.
lagi, guys?
I mean, I can't think of anyone better.
Cuba komen.
I'll call him the best wall break queen charger in the world. And until anyone else can prove me wrong, then I think that
Dan
Bernal definitely
untuk
deserves a spot on
DZ
this
Esports
world
sekarang ini.
championship team. And has a solid chance at making
8
another win
RR di
happen
bawah
for
oleh
Savage
beliau.
Elite. Let's go back to Den
Dengan
now for
satu
Dizzy Esports.
overgrowth.
He's going to be cracking back with another Root Rider attack.
Terus dimulakan lagi RR bersama dengan King di kawasan atas. Terus wadah ability awal di situ untuk selamatkan Root Rider beliau.
Yeah, he's getting that entry
Sementara
in
Sis
nice
Barrack
and
membuat
with
funnel di
mobility.
kawasan jam
Having the
12.
loud though, getting
King
lured.
masuk sekarang di
The
kawasan
Asher
dalam.
is close around, which means it
Queen
should
di
go
kawasan
down
bawah.
eventually.
Freeze.
Well, we
Dua
have the
multi
Roach
tower di
ending
situ.
point really early on with those Root Riders, and the goal
Ada
currently
satu
for him
Invis
is
spell di
to
kawasan
funnel
Town
those
Hall.
Root Riders
Mungkin akan
into the
dihilangkan
core,
dengan
into
overgrowth
that
beliau ataupun
invisibility
bagaimana.
tower, so he can then use the
Yup.
overgrowth spell
Hilangkan
exactly
dengan
as
overgrowth.
planned to make sure that the
Dapat
tower
monolith
staying
di
alive.
situ.
And the spiky ball got quite a few defense on the back end. The question though
Telah
is,
pun menggunakan
were it
spiky ball
mainly like outside buildings which were not that important, or
untuk
were
King
there key
beliau.
defenses with them as well?
Adakah korang upgrade korang punya spiky ball guys? Ke
Defending
korang tak
Archer
claim
Queen
spiky
tries to
ball?
pop down another couple Root Riders, but the ability pop
Sebagai
by
champion
Din Din
petak
there will take out the
berada di
Inferno
kawasan bawah
Tower
sekarang
and
ni.
the enemy queen back to back.
Ada satu race spell untuk digunakan.
Overgrowth still just
Itu dia race spell terus
lingering
untuk
on the
troop
Town
beliau.
Hall, and
Dengan Royal Champion ability yang masih belum lagi digunakan oleh beliau. Oh, agak sedikit bahaya sebenarnya. Tapi terus digunakan ability Royal Champion sekarang ini. Dan troop beliau kembali ke arah Town Hall. Dan 1 minit 22 saat untuk Den.
A pretty quick hit from Den, all things considered. 3 more stars for Dizzy Esports, and another fantastic finish with Root
Mantap
Riders.
sekali.
But it is just not going to be enough to overcome the massive gap that Savage Elite have established in their favor with that epic defense on the first round.
Yeah, I feel like that one defense is really carrying them then out all the way. Not only with the result, but as well momentum based. It's like really hard to keep that, like, give that away. And we saw that with the reaction of Bernal, of like, okay, he knows he's getting that 3-star. Time is not a factor anymore for them. It's just about getting those 3 stars. And that was really nicely showcased as well in that reaction of him. And well, they're up next again. And as long as they keep doing what they're currently non-stop doing, which is 3-starring, then they are looking really good for this match, and they have the chance of actually competing versus VM Legacy in the finals then.
Well, let's see how they do it. If they keep that 3-star energy up, then they have got exactly what they need to close this out with another perfect war and send a strong message to VM Legacy that they are not going to be trifled with, that they are ready to go the distance and force a bracket reset into a golden ticket win. They may have had one slip up yesterday, but Savage Elite are perfect so far today and are trying to keep that streak going. If we see a 3-star in this next attack, then a 2-star finish would be enough to guarantee victory for them. that is certainly got to be something that's on Dizzy Esports' mind because they need a defense
Jadi Lupi
right now
sekarang ni
against Luke.
untuk
If they
Savage
want to try to
Elite,
have,
guys.
the 2-star hope of a percentage win remain alive. In Loop's favor, he knows that if he gets that 3-star, it's basically all over at that point. But even a 2-star from Loop could be sufficient to maintain Savage Elite's winning run.
They are actually going in with the Lalo on this one, the jump spell as well in the mix to make sure that his heroes can get even more value. Getting the wall break already in.
Okay, sekarang kita ada Lalo daripada Lupi. Sui Lalo di situ dimainkan oleh beliau. Jadi serangan keempat sebenarnya untuk Savage Elite sekarang ni. Mereka Queen ability terus untuk unlock Invis Tower kerana beliau akan mulakan Lalo sebentar saja lagi. King dapatkan Town Hall atau bagaimana? King kejar Isidla Castle. Champion telah pun menggunakan ability sekarang ni. Lalu belum dimulakan oleh Lupi.
Get the air sweeper that was in the core there that I thought he might have tried to go for, but
itu dia lalu masuk ke daripada kawasan atas sekarang ini. Nampaknya Invis Tower akan refill tak lama lagi dan ini membahayakan dia punya battle beam yang akan dijatuhkan sebentar lagi. Itu dia free spell untuk memastikan bahaya. Invis spell hampir refill. Dah dapat dimusnahkan dengan battle beam punya damage. Jabatan free spell beliau. Dari 3 bintang mudah di sini untuk Lupi. Tenang sahaja serangan beliau. Tidak mengejar masa kerana masa bukan lagi target mereka. Mantap sekali serangan Lupi di sini. Jadi Savage Elite memerlukan ataupun mempunyai satu lagi serangan untuk dilakukan selepas ini dan wajib dapatkan sekurang-kurangnya 2 bintang saya rasa untuk mengesahkan kemenangan mereka.
And as long now Savage Elite is not 1-starring on their own, they're good to go to get to the finals.
Well, this is exactly what I was hoping to see from Savage Elite. They've pivoted away from giving any care at all about time, and they're just focusing on the safe 3 stars. That was a minute and 46
selamat datang Titi, apa khabar?
on that attack timer. The second longest that we've seen right after Bernal, and yet it is still just such an overwhelming lead for
Senyap
Savage
teruk dah
Elite.
tempat ni.
Not caring at all about time, just
Wah,
those
senyap
safe
aku pun dah
3
down
star
dah ni.
strikes. Lava Loon is the way to
Come on,
do
guys.
it. And this is a team that can very
Come on,
easily
kita
pivot away
meriahkan
from the
keadaan,
Moonrider
guys.
strategy that they were working on to find a La Loon attack angle for their 3rd, 4th, and maybe even their 5th hitters. But with another 3-star on the board, Dizzy Esports now needs to put up a 3-star of their own and then get a 1-star defense on
Yang
the
di
final
YT apa
run.
khabar? Ramai
Not
orang
something
kat
that you
YT.
can really expect to even be
Korang dah
possible
tekan
at
button
this point.
subscribe
Savage
belum?
Elite know that they can walk
Jangan lupa
away
guys tekan
with the
button
win
like sekali
just
kat
by
video.
taking down 50% in
Okay.
the Town Hall. That is
Korang
gonna
punya
be
like dekat
very
YT ni
easy
sangat
hurdle for
membantu
them
sebenarnya
to
dan
beat
sangat
over
diperlukan.
in the last 2 attacks
Alright.
against Wards.
Yeah, that should be for sure something which is manageable, I guess, for those teams. 2 stars to win wars. I feel like that is now the motto of the last attacker for Savage Elite. But now, Dizzy Esports for now, they are, well, they just have to do what they have to do non-stop since their first fail. 3-starring and hoping for a miracle, because so far Savage, they did not show any weakness whatsoever. And well, if they're doing that yet again with their last attack, it was not in their hands
Ini
anymore.
jaga
But last attackers getting
untuk
ready for
Dizzy
Dizzy
Esports.
Esports. They have to get this 3-star in
Jaga,
to still
jaga.
have hope for their last defense.
Mengejar mimpi,
Here you go, the final
jaga-jaga.
attacker now up against Leo the Lion. King of the Jungle is going to be sitting high on his throne. But will it be another 3-star strike from Dizzy Esports to close this thing out with 13 stars of their own? They certainly don't want to be the only team to have a 12-star finish in this month's finals. So at least
apa
13
ni?
from them
Aduh,
would be a
observer.
good way to end this race.
Observer
Booting
buat
back
hal
up,
lah guys.
We'll kick off again. Jaeger marching
Si Osi
on
crash.
in, and what army has he brought
Aduh,
for us this
yay.
time? We'll find out in just a moment. It is
Observer
gonna be
pisang
Mass
guys. Si
Dragons
Osi
this
crash.
Mass Dragons indeed. Do we see? No, we have
Jangan
already
jarang
the
lah crash kan.
Queen. Wait, I think it was a giant arrow which we have missed in the beginning.
Dia jaga
because the
menggunakan
elephants on the
naga
other
di sini.
side is gone, if I believe I see that correctly.
Race
So
spell.
that is now a blimp for the core, and we have those dragons now spreading.
Oh, no
out. The
clone
King is gonna
sebenarnya.
push
Saya
into
ingatkan
that
ada clone spell.
compartment
Rupanya
where the
tornado di
Queen
situ.
is slowly taking care of that
Jump
bottom
spell untuk
side.
King
The
kawasan
tower
atas.
went down with that blimp. Now it's all about overpowering the
Royal
last
Champion
remaining
kawasan
defense
kanan
with the
sekarang ni.
spiky ball as well, dealing some
Masih
damage.
lagi
Well, it has been a
jaga
rapid
tidak
attack
butuh
so
masa
far.
untuk
He is not
Dizzy
gonna
Sport
let
di sini.
up any speed or pressure on this base.
Royal Champion
Dragon
begitu terus
Riders up
digunakan
on top,
bersama dengan
helping
Race
out with
Pass
the
sekarang ni
mass
untuk
drags.
Royal Champion.
Supported by the Grand Warden, they're just charging straight toward the finish and they're going to eliminate this base, no questions asked.
Jadi serangan 3 bintang yang sangat pantas untuk jaga di sini 1 minit. 10 saat. 12. 1 minit 11 saat. Mantap sekali. Jadi mereka perlu mengharapkan defensif mereka untuk 1 bintang saya rasa.
Close is not going to be good enough. Savage Elite can walk away with a 2-star hit in their next attack to get the win. There's just going to be another few minutes left until this war is over.
Yes, and now we're waiting for the 2-star, at least 2-star attack. I'm pretty confident that they're not going for the safe 2-star. Like, they're not just going for 2 stars. They would just go for 3 stars overall, but have a save the second star option. I'm pretty confident that they're not going to use the overgrowth spell, because I feel like this is what we have seen most of the fails happen with having the town on the back end. So I hope that we don't see that from Cedinho, but I'm sure that he's actually bringing 2 out of. Okay, I have not said anything.
Jadi
He is just
Cedinho
bringing 2 of them and going with
menggunakan
the town on the last bidding.
2
What is going on here?
overgrowth spell untuk serangan ini.
Well, we are indeed back to Root Riders. Savage Elite can swing it any way they want at this point. It's a relatively isolated base with kind of an anti-2-star design in the core here for the Town Hall to be a
Itu
little bit
dia
separated.
lock launcher yang digunakan oleh Cedinho sebenarnya. Okey. Respel untuk rider di kawasan kiri. Overgrowth di kawasan tengah sekarang ini.
Oh, he's even going to give an overgrowth into the core.
Oh, hilang untuk rider di kawasan Eagle. Tapi ada Royal Champion sekurang-kurangnya. Oh, sayang sekali tak dapat kerja King di situ. Hunter. 2 bintang diperlukan oleh Cedinho sekurang-kurangnya di sini. Taha menjadi buruan Cedinho. Rider keluar daripada Clan Castle ataupun lock launcher. Oh, lewat dia gunakan overgrowth spell yang seterusnya untuk membantu Hot Rider survive. Spell untuk Royal Champion sekarang ini. 2 free spell tinggal untuk beliau. Royal Champion betul digunakan di kawasan kiri base. Masih ada King dan juga Queen ability. King belum diletakkan lagi sebenarnya. Okey. Saya rasa beliau akan tunggu overgrowth habis di kawasan tengah baru dia lepaskan King untuk dapatkan Town Hall.
This is a really big question mark to me when it comes down to the plan. Now sending the king in,
Jadi
this
Queen
is the
Abbey
phrases
terus
of the
digunakan.
second star is secure,
Warden terus dibunuh.
but still a
Queen dapat
really
Marquis
risky
Tower.
approach on this one with having the town hall
Single Inferno
overgrowth now
untuk King
twice.
sekarang ni, tapi terus digunakan ability dan freeze dunia semua.
He's going to freeze the single
Dia
inferno,
dapat
right?
Town Hall dan 2 bintang yang melayakkan Savage Elite ke Grand Final untuk Qualifier bulan 5 ini. Mantap sekali.
Sacrificing his king to the core inferno.
Jadi serangan ini boleh katakan agak gagal, tapi ya 2 bintang saja dia perlukan oleh beliau. Tidak perlu dapat 3 bintang. Jadi itulah yang didapatkan oleh Cedinho untuk serangan terakhir dalam final lower bracket ini.
Third place now in the May monthly finals will have an $8,500 prize waiting for them. But it is going to be up to Savage Elite to return to the upper bracket
Queen
for the
dapatkan
grand
wall.
finals.
Dari satu lagi
facing
free
off
spell.
against VM Legacy
Tapi mungkin tak
to
cukup masa
determine
untuk
which ticket
dapatkan
they
3
will
bintang.
receive.
But nice attack daripada
Getting that
Cedinho
really making sure that town hall
yang
goes
dapat
down.
mengesahkan slot Grand
Even though
Final
it looks
untuk
strange to us,
Qualifier
I mean,
ni.
it was the plan since the beginning to have that king for the town hall. Since he did not deploy it, that was something we have for sure missed there. But getting that king for the core,
Ya,
that was
Queen
some of the reason
boleh
why
je dia
he used the
skip
lock
wall
launcher
tu untuk
to just
dapatkan
open
Manti
up the
Inferno,
walls
tapi biasalah
to
Queen
clear
kan.
the left and right side with the
Nama
Root
pun
Riders.
Queen.
So having them
Wise
in
Daddy,
split
terima
was
kasih
a good thing
follow.
for him, I guess. And
Queen,
then having the
Kau
king for
boleh
the
je
tower
duduk tepi tu
compartment.
ambil
So,
multi
good
penuh.
job to Sedinho,
Nak juga ambil wall.
sacrificing his hit rate
Dasar
for
Queen.
his team. I think he can be happy with that. I think the hit
Marah
rate is
Queen,
not as
tapi aku
important
singgah.
anymore. But getting
Siap.
that safe 2-star and making sure that they are getting to the finals, because this is now what is on
Dan
their
serangan
mind.
ataupun
They
perlawanan
are
seterusnya
indeed in the
akan,
fight from the lower bracket.
berlangsung
And because they're in the
nanti.
fight from the lower bracket, they have to win twice, back to back, versus VM Legacy, who so far have looked really strong. You have to give them that. Like, have to give them that. Good on offense, on defense, and this is not going to be an easy team to beat, and you have to do it twice.
Well, I guess your win rate is always going to be more important than your hit rate. And for Celino to give us a bit of a strange walk-off performance, getting the only 2-star in that war, not a perfect war from Savage Elite, they still knew that that was all that they really had to do, was to just to get the dub.
Nak tengok kat mana ni? Kat sini bang. Saya cover untuk bahasa Melayu, jangan risau.
Try to go try hard for the triple and to just take that safe 2-star path. Dizzy set up a pretty tricky base to have to finish off for the guaranteed 2-star.
Kalau nak tengok official punya bahasa Inggeris, boleh tengok dekat YT ataupun akaun official COC.
Is testament to Dizzy's
Tapi saya
great base
cover
building
untuk bahasa Melayu.
and their solid offense.
Okay, sorry lah kalau senyap sikit kan sebab dah habis match dan saya nak borak pun macam tak ada orang nak dengar je kan. Saya dah tanya banyak kali kat komen pun senyap. So tak boleh sedih sekejap lah.
To the very end of the upper bracket, but with 2 losses in a row now, they have been eliminated. Dizzy Esports, commiserations to you and congratulations really on a well done performance. They were in the top half of participants in this month's bracket, but third place is just such a tough position.
Navi main community tournament ni sekarang.
Ticket. You come down
Navi
from
dia
the
tak
upper
layak
bracket
main
feeling like you're
apa
on
ni,
top of the world, and this is a really hard
Qualifier.
fall for them to
Member
have
tengah
to
push
rally back from
main
in future
community
months.
tournament.
Savage Elite, on the other hand, though, have completed their rally. They've finished off their lower bracket run and are going now to the grand finals, facing off against VM Legacy.
Yeah, it was just this one attack for them which did fall short. But in the end, we have Bernal as MVP for his team with the Queen Charge Lalo. I can totally understand that. That was a
Jadi
beautiful
Bernal
attack to watch for
menjadi
sure.
MVP untuk
Getting that
Savage
Queen
Elite
into that core and then with a Lalo cleanup.
dengan
Nicely
serangan
done.
Queen Charge
And,
lalu
well,
beliau.
this means that we see him and
Kita
his team
nampak
again.
sebentar tadi
Well, having now Carbon and Eric back, what did you guys make out of
untuk
this last match?
mengesahkan 3
Carbon, let's
bintang.
start with you.
Oh man, it was just that first attack setting the tone of the match. It is so unfortunate, and it's just a heartbreaker with a 1-star that comes in. You hate to see it, but hey, it happens at this stage because of the risk you take.
Jadi lebih kurang 12 minit lagi untuk next match disebabkan dorang kena ada waktu ataupun tempoh preparation So lambat sikit lah untuk next war. So korang stay tune guys. Kalau korang nak borak apa-apa, nak tanya apa-apa soalan, silakan komen, jangan risau. Saya akan cuba jawab. Dah habis ke belum lagi? Grand final selepas ni guys. Stay tune.
Can't hear you yet, Eric. I do want to just say that I think that was really significant, that was the only war where we did not see a perfect war from either team. I think Eric's back with us now, so take it back, sir.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that Savage Elite had almost exactly, like literally exactly the same scenario happen to them in the war that knocked them down to the lower bracket in the first place. Remember, they had the 1-star 97% exactly played out like what happened to DZ Esports there. So like they know exactly how it feels to be in DZ's spot, but they don't know how it feels to be eliminated, as we see that they are now advancing into the grand finals, and they're going to have to beat VM Legacy twice to be able to take the golden ticket, but they are at least at a minimum guaranteed a silver ticket to last chance qualifier now.
Well, you heard my thoughts already. You know, I think it's pretty impressive that we saw a pivot in strategy from Savage Elite that last run, knowing that they only needed to get the 2-star to finish things off. That's the only war that we've seen where neither team got a perfect war. They're adaptable, they're working well on the fly, but they still have a huge hurdle ahead of them with VM Legacy, an undefeated team sitting at the very top, performing at the best that they ever have. Perfect war after perfect war. And yeah, the only team remaining that has a stat line that can still stack higher above Savage Elite's. 99.6% average destruction on a 14.8 average star performance, VM Legacy is the team to beat right now.
Yeah, VM Legacy has been setting the tone with the very fast average attack durations, and Savage Elite, they know they have to be hitting at around a minute 15. If they could do that, they have a really good chance of trying to force a bracket reset. If they can't do that, then that means VM Legacy just has to win one match here, and they are getting that golden ticket. So who is going to be able to get the second golden
Jadi
ticket?
guys, agak kurang siapa menang. Siapa dapat golden ticket? Adakah bekas juara bertahan iaitu Savage Elite ataupun VM Legacy? Sebagai seed nombor 1 sekarang ni dalam
qualifiers and VM Legacy. What a lineup we have here, Itsu.
Cuba komen guys, agak siapa menang.
Just take a look at those hit rates. It's crazy to say that Cynthia is the one with the lowest 3-star rate with a 91%. It's just unbelievable. Falaxia as well with a 94%, but he is the finisher for his team. He has to do those last attacks, which he does so good. And we have even someone with a perfect hit rate on the team as well with Max. We have the person with the fastest average attacking time on that team as well with Darkstar. It is just a really stacked lineup, and I feel like if you want to beat this team, you do not need to be scared of their first attacks, because I feel like the first 2 attackers of VM Legacy, they are going to put pressure on the other team with their incredible fast attacks. At least this is what happened so far in the tournament, and I feel like you just have to ignore that and keep doing your thing and hoping that the remaining attackers are maybe not as quickly in their attacks.
Absolutely. You got to keep your head in the game there, even if things start to go a little bit to the other team. Like, you know, especially when you're sitting there with Darkstar often opening up there for VM Legacy, the current world record holder on attack time at 47 seconds, like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Unbelievable what he's been able to do. But you can't let that get in your head there. You gotta just keep on marching forward there. Don't rush, over rush. I mean, you gotta rush. Let's be real. You gotta move fast, but you can't over rush your attacks there to the point where you end up making mistakes. So it's gonna be a crazy one here. But Carbon, you got an attack you want to break down here?
Indeed. We're going to break down the Bernal attack, the MVP of that last match. And what I want to break down here is how he charges into the space. Notice we have closed compartments all throughout this space right here. And what does he have? Well, 4 super wall breakers. So let's go ahead and play this and look how he's able to charge this queen in. So the path of this queen is to make her way through here. But the only way to get the wall breakers to target these walls is if you take these out. So what he does exactly here is uses 1 wall breaker here, so he can get the king to go through this way. He's going to use another wall, or at least wait till at least that wall opens, so that now once these defenses in here go down, he can continue to open these walls and charge that queen right on through. So notice, opens this wall right here. This expo needs to go down so that he could charge deep into the space. So let's go ahead and pause this right here and break it down even further. So as the queen's charging in here, this is what he wants to take down with the queen. All right, the king's value is off to the far right side, which is going to clear this. That's the king's value. Now what he wants to do is use the warden on ground, and he wants to send the warden with ability and have the RC under the warden ability and clear this. So the final portion of this base is for the Lalo to come through without the warden ability. So the Hound moves to this first air defense here, and then continues to fly. So each one of these sections is how they break this base apart. So let's go ahead and play it here and look at the wall break that he's able to charge in. So the wall break will come down here again and open the wall into this section. So let's go and play it here, and we'll see this attack continue to play out. So once this section down here is open, he drops another balloon to test for seeking air mines, and then that last wall breaker right there charges. Oh, it charges right on in right there. I'm taking some screenshots. You know, I am so amazed of these attacks here. But as we are continued through, notice this side over here. This is where the warden is going to come right through. So the queen continues to her value. We have the headhunters, and then the warden ability comes right through there and protects the hogs, as he pops the ability of the Royal Champion, and now comes the Lalo from the top side as he's continuing around. So he breaks this base down one by one, and he doesn't need the Warden with the Lalo as he's continuing to fly through because of the value of the Royal Champion's ability of those hogs. Super minions ended up coming right through there to help take out the Flame Flinger. But the Flame Flinger cleared all that, so a fantastic way to charge this base.
Guys,
And
aku
it was a
tanya korang, guys.
really strong
Sekarang
attack here from
mesti-
Bernal, and he
mesti
did
squad
need to
lah
bring
ke
the
apa,
Root
guys?
Riders because he went back to something that was his favorite attack that he is the best at, and it is the Queen Charge Lalo. What an amazing attack coming in from Bernal, and that is why he was voted as the MVP of that last match there, Itsu.
Yeah, that was just a super impressive attack. Getting those different
Ampun
stages,
lah,
having
mata,
the plan with every
Apa
single
lama?
hero for every single
Minggu
compartment, and especially as well planning, as we just nicely highlighted, how to get those wall breaks right and get this queen access to the core, which was a super big game changer. And I mean, the Warden and Royal Champion thing together, that Hog Rider puppet equipment with the Eternal Tome, really nice and really strong
Minggu kedua,
together.
minggu, guys.
But I think we have another interview ready for us as well to take a look at and jump into before our next match then starts. Is that right, Corbin?
Oh, indeed. Well, let's go ahead and welcome the one and only Coco. Coco, how are you doing?
Ganito,
What
yeah.
was your thoughts so far of this monthly finals?
Well, hello. First of all, thank you so much for having me. You're all doing an amazing job. It's been a lot of fun cheering from chat with many others. The World Championship, it has been an interesting one. I've been comparing it a lot to the previous one that we saw, and we have got a slight meta change. I mean, we have more dragons, more Lalo, and I love that we're actually incorporating the spiky ball as well.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with the final then around the corner and possibly a bracket reset and maybe history repeat with the last qualifier. I mean, there are some parallels I want to say with how the last qualifier went down. Who would you pick between VM Legacy and Savage Elite? And since it's possibly a bracket reset, if you think that Savage Elite is going to win the first match, who do you think is going to win the second, if you might pick Savage Elite for the first one?
Well, that might be like the hardest question that you could ask me, because both of these teams, they're just so good. They're so consistent. I don't know which one that my heart says is going to win. Comparing it to like last month as well, we had Synchronic that came out on top. They did phenomenal. They hinted in the very beginning that they had some hidden strategies, and that's when we saw like the jump spell in the very beginning. So I think that when you compare that, if there are some hidden strats that are still around, maybe that could play in someone's favor. But also, they had a lot of base builders on that team, so if that's what it takes, then maybe Savage Elite will take the victory.
Yeah, well, you know, we will have to wait to see, as the grand finals will be coming up next. And what is coming up later at the end of this year is the Clash of Clans World Championship Finals. So, Coco, I know you were able to experience the finals last year. What are you most looking forward to it for this year?
Honestly, being there in person, meeting everyone and seeing all the players, because we watch them play not just in the World Championship, but we know how much work goes into getting to that stage, going through community events, and we have an LCQ this year as well, which is going to be amazing. So honestly, I think that's the key thing, and being able to cheer with everybody else. We could see last year that even the teams that did lose, they were still cheering for their friends in the finals.
Yeah, and with experiencing those crazy emotions, I think that's what you have to call it. What do you think is going to be an important factor for the last match, for the finals now, and what those teams should bring to the table to maybe have that slight advantage over the other team?
Well, Savage Elite could have an advantage. We know that VM Legacy, they do have some really good players and they have experience on the world stage as well. But going all the way out, and they were our champions last year, I think that could give them an edge. They know how to keep their head in the game. But then we also saw the same thing from Fluxy. Fluxy came in with his head in the game and he got it done, got exactly what he needed for his team. But maybe Savage Elite could have the advantage because they've been together for such a long time.
They have been together for a very long time. They got the experience of winning the World Championship, and let's see if they use that experience to try to make it back to try to defend their title. But thank you so much for joining us here, Coco, for today, as we are going to have one more match, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you very soon. So can't wait to see you and hear way more thoughts from your expertise. So with that now, we are going to be getting ready for the grand finals, and it's time to learn our predictions. Who do we think is going to win the grand finals? Is it going to be VM Legacy or is it going to be Savage Elite? Both of them already guaranteed themselves a silver ticket. Why? Because whoever loses gets the silver, the one who wins gets the gold ticket, and they are going to be going to the Clash of Clans World Championship Finals. And wow, we are unanimous across the board. VM Legacy.
Okay guys, jadi korang predict siapa guys?
Itsu,
Korang
what's your
predict
reasoning
VM
behind
Legacy
it?
ke korang predict SE?
They were just so
Elite,
consistent
cuba komen.
offense, and especially
Come on, guys.
even though you know the first attackers are going to be fast, it's
Mari
still
kita
putting up pressure on
meriahkan
the
grand
other
final
team.
pada malam ini
And I feel like this is always something
dengan
where the teams are then
komen
thinking,
korang
they
geng,
are
come on.
so quick currently, what can we do to improve
Agak-agak
our
siapa menang,
attacks? And
guys?
this is then where mistakes can happen, because I feel like this is one of the biggest source of mistakes for those teams if they have to speed things up even more, and to go maybe for some more risky approaches to some degree, or where they have to deploy even more things at the same time, and that could be then maybe a big deciding factor. But the community, I don't know if it's our influence here, but 67%. This has to be one of the biggest and most one-sided community votes which we had so far, I believe, right, Eric?
I think that VM Legacy is winning a lot of fans with what they've been able to put up so far, and with so many talented players, like they quite literally gathered a super team. Like the moment we saw this roster being formed months back, we saw that this team was going to be a monster deal for anybody to go up against it. So they are definitely delivering on that expectation right there, and we are ready to
Pasti ada
kick
bracket
this.
reset ke
So
tak?
I
Lupa,
guess
saya lupa.
we'll see Woody and Itsu later on. And let's get ready to kick off this grand finals, Carmen. So, you ready for this?
I'm ready. We're going to be giving one of these away. Who is getting the golden ticket to be joining Synchronic Gaming in the
apa ni, si
grand
Carbon ni
four?
sejak
Not
ada
grand, this is
predict
already
Twitter
the
rajin
grand
dia
final,
buat
in the World
mabang versi.
Championship later at the end of this year. The pressure is on, and Pato is going to be leading it off for Savage Elite to start.
This is so much pressure on the line here. You have to take
Kenapa
this
still ada
way
sabung
to
kat
give you
bawah?
a Savage Elite. Savage
Sebab
Elite
nak bagi
will
in-game
have
nampak
to
full.
beat VM
So nanti
Legacy
in-game,
twice
kalau
to
saya
claim
tak
the
potong
golden
macam ni,
ticket.
nanti tak
Otherwise,
nampak
they
full.
walk away with second place there, and will
Tunggu
have to
je
go
in-game.
after another qualifier or into the last chance qualifier to get their path to go back and defend their title as the current defending world champions. But Pato will kick us off
World
today.
tournament, yep.
Darkstar will play on defense, and this is like a very tense
Dan ni
moment
dia,
for any team.
masuk
But
tu
there we
je
go.
hero.
Shoots across the base there. The moment we begin, you gotta go
tu
fast.
dengan
You
sangat
know how
pantas
fast
beliau.
the VM Legacy can move these attacks here, and you
Cuba
have
dapatkan
to
3
match it,
bintang dengan masa singkat untuk sangat power ni. Mana dia ni power? Ni dia power ni, grand final. Ada Savage Elite dengan VM Legacy. KBT kawasan kanan, Model kawasan kiri, Witch dengan Mini yang keluar daripada Gesel, Overgrowth kawasan tengah sekarang ni.
Gotta get the extra abilities that are strayed
Race
left
bag.
behind up at the very top there. So drop
Jemput dengan track untuk rider beliau.
start to work on the walls there while Root Riders get the clean back access to be able to go in and get the scatter shot down up there. But the King doing a fantastic job
Right,
of
Jimper di kawasan kanan. Overgrowth kat base tak lama lagi.
And now Super Minions as the Root Riders, the
Peminian dari kawasan kiri keluar dari sisi barak. Race pack digunakan sebentar lagi untuk Royal Champion beliau. Itu dia. Royal Champion, race pack, ability. Terus digunakan. Dapat Town Hall. Banyak troop, tapi sekarang ini Poison Town Hall akan membahayakan troop beliau. Sehingga Inferno akan diburu oleh Super Minion. 1 minit 12 saat untuk Pato. Anu kuyuk dia game follow yang kiri Brazil tu kalah ke? Ini dia, bekas champion. Bekas champion.
attack. A lot
Aduh,
of the fast
asal
attack
lag.
that we saw
Ai.
from VM in the last match that they had was Darkstar, and that
Asal
was a
lag.
minute and
Okay,
11.
okay je ni.
So that is a
Lag
fantastic
macam
way
mana?
to start off this grand finals, and Savage Elite must force a bracket reset in order to have a chance to win. All VM Legacy has to do is
Lag
win
mana?
this match, and they take it all. Because they came from the upper bracket, they do get that advantage.
Yeah, and the setting the tone for the war at the very beginning, we saw how big of an impact that made on all the other wars playing up until this point here. But to go out of the gate and hit a minute and 12 seconds is a very, very impressive way to kick it off. And that'll put the early pressure onto VM Legacy. Show them that they are ready to play fast, they're ready to be able to take their bases down without any trouble. And they just need to match the pace now. And we know that they can, because they've been putting up a lot of wars there that have been hitting right around that base or slightly above it. But that's a very, very impressive start there to kick it off. But now Darkstar is currently the world record holder for the fastest attack ever completed in Clash of Clans esports, holding the record at 4 seconds above the previous record that was, or the next best that was set earlier in this golden ticket competition. But Darkstar is our current world record holder, and we'll see if he can match the pace there from Savage Elite as he goes in with a Root Rider attack of his own.
And he's not waiting at all with that King, Queen down. Root Rider's going in. The jump's going to give that King access towards the Ricochet Cannon and the enemy Royal Champion, as the Warden's abilities protecting with the overgrowth to the Town Hall. Eagle Artillery stopping everything there in the core from doing any damage, as the Royal Champion's already deployed as well. Siege Barracks came a little bit later there. Okay, he didn't want to use it right away. Let's see how that's going to affect this hit.
You gotta get that King to get back into action. He's looping into this side of the base there, going after Clan Castle troops.
Sorry lah viewer
Going
TikTok
through
kan.
the walls and go to the very top of the base.
Kacau pula grand final.
Already being used. He'll just kind of hang out in the middle there and provide some tanking for the troops that are there. There's the freeze. Gotta get the Town Hall down while he's got the troops right there. And there's still a lot of troops that are
Spell untuk King sekarang ni.
the base. They're trying to deal with what's up there, but he needs to get the Town Hall down. That's the most important thing right there. The King is stepping into it. The King, is he attacking the wall or is he attacking the Town Hall? Looks like he went to the
Rider
artillery
cuba
there.
dapatkan Town Hall. Sikit lagi Rider tak dapat Town Hall di situ. Tapi King ada Phoenix kurang-kurangnya untuk dapatkan Town Hall.
Yeah, he's gonna have to move his way back.
1 minit.
Already burned all the abilities.
10 saat telah berlalu. Oh, banyak lagi damage Town Hall sebenarnya. Tapi Royal Champion akan dibantu oleh Fox dan juga PK untuk dapatkan Town Hall. 1 minit. 18 saat. 20 saat. 19 saat untuk VM Legacy ataupun VM Darkstar. Nice try.
Yes, indeed, a minute 19 there for Darkstar.
Nice try.
And there is a 7-second differential to start. We have ourselves a match, and you got to be as close as possible to try to get to the 60-second mark. And it's all those small details, spring traps on the outside to stop wall breakers, giant bumps, small bumps, things like that, to prevent heroes from going into compartments and stop those heroes from getting the initial value, because they know that the troops can just come back around and get it, but that will cost you on time.
And you see that Town Hall was boxed off, just a circle of walls around it, and that did cause some problems for him there. It did slow him down. He had troops that were right there in the area there that were having the potential to take it down if they could access it. But a lot of times those Root Riders will ignore the Town Hall when they're on the first pass by it, because first of all, you're making the overgrowth make it invisible, so they never path into the compartment to break the walls in. But then also the Root Riders can't even see it if you do leave it up there at less than 50%, so they just end up a lot of times leaving that ring of walls around the Town Hall, and that makes so that other troops are a little bit slower to go into it. Now sometimes you'll see people go after that style base with like dragons and then use like a blimp to land inside, because you know that Steve Goblins would have no chance of hitting traps, and so then it's kind of a mind game that you're playing with the defender. Do we take the risk and go with the Root Riders, or do we potentially walk into a bait with a blimp and go with a dragon attack? And it's definitely some very, very high end.
Sekarang kita akan lihat serangan daripada Leo untuk Savage Elite.
Mind games indeed. And I think at the meta right now with Town Hall 16 is the best opportunity for teams to force bracket resets. Last year at Town Hall 15, it seemed like bracket resets didn't really happen because the team that came from the upper bracket was just dominating and doing so well. It was way harder to get 3 stars at the Town Hall 15 meta than it is now for the Town Hall 16. And now I think with the current meta and how it is, the teams that come from the lower bracket have a fantastic opportunity to make a bracket reset and have a chance at trying to take that golden ticket even after you getting that first loss. But here we go with Leo of Savage Elite looking to set the tone again. We saw the first attack from Pato getting 1 minute 12 seconds. Can he hit a mark of just like that? Is it again? No, not Rude Riders here. It is the Dragons. We do have an overgrowth as well with that giant arrow.
Giant arrow with
Kita ada naga sekarang ni. Senang sangat rata wah sekarang ni. 2 attack sampai 2 minit dah rata. Yes, diorang lawan masa je sekarang ni. Naga masuk kawasan kiri sekarang ni untuk Leo.
Aims it perfectly, so that's the setup that he's looking for right there. And a lot of times
Terus gunakan ability untuk naga beliau. Ability Warden dengan healing tu di situ.
But we need to make sure that Town Hall still is able to go down to the far back of the base there. And when we're using a siege barracks, we're trying to speed
Jauh
things
spam
up there,
untuk
but
masukkan
we
King ke compartment
obviously put
seterusnya.
some inherent risk because we don't blimp out the Town Hall. But we also take away some risk.
King
of getting
ability.
caught in a tornado trap, not gonna tell you that we were
Dia
aiming
Phoenix
for with
membantu King di situ untuk dihidupkan semula. Mereka untuk masukkan spore variant overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall untuk memastikan Town Hall tidak menghilangkan troop beliau. Jadi naga akan dapatkan King dahulu. Sekarang ni Freeze hingga lymph node di kawasan kiri. Royal Champion di kawasan kiri sekarang ni. Gunakan respam untuk naga beliau. Freeze spam Town Hall tidak kena pada Monolith, tapi naga masih lagi banyak di situ. Jadi 3 bintang dengan masa 1 minit. Berapa saat? 10 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ini. Dia champion sibuk dengan skeleton trap sebentar tadi. 15 saat telah pun berlalu. 1 minit 20 saat 21. Saya 21. 20 saat untuk Leo. Nice try. Jadi selamat datang semua yang baru masuk. Minta maaf tadi live terputus. Jangan risau. Jangan lupa tekan butang follow yang mana belum follow. Okey, teruskan support saya sebagai creator suksi untuk Malaysia.
4 to 5 seconds because they have
maybe like 1 or 2.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I feel like the dragon had to make its way over there. If he had a little bit of cleanup behind the Royal Champion a little bit earlier, while she was clearing that.
Kurang untuk saya terus buat konten sampai saya dapat creator code.
They have to realize, okay, I gotta make sure that I'm dropping this cleanup. Can't forget this bit. Can't forget this plan. And they're planning on the smallest details, even though it's like you're thinking.
Jadi sekarang ni kita ada
okay, you know, it's the
pricing
straightforward
untuk
strategy.
Qualifier
Use this arrow to get that value
18,000 USD untuk siapa yang dapat golden ticket. Dan nombor 2 popular 12,000 golden ticket. Golden ticket pada 12,000 USD.
They take home 18,000. If it is Savage Elite, then we'll play another match, and then the winner of that would take home the first place prize.
8,500 USD.
And yeah, you're saying
total tak salah saya 55,000 USD. Jadi
every single thing accounted for, but you also have to account for traps and the unexpected where things don't path the way that you want. So a lot of practice is necessary to be able to react on the fly and make the adjustments.
Lihat serangan seterusnya selepas ini
adjustments are with those super barbarians, so they
untuk
learn how much
BM
they
Legacy.
can adjust with that, and they have to have those in the right positions to
Jadi
be able to make
kalau
sure that everybody
Savage Elite menang,
in the base there, they're potentially
bracket
leaning
reset
out,
akan
or give the tanking for the heroes, make
terjadi,
sure they
dan
got
kita
flank
akan lihat
support there,
satu lagi
making sure
match
the Lord
akan
Champion
berlangsung
goes
selepas
working the
ini.
base there, and you don't have any perimeter defenses, but then you're
BM
also
match
dealing with spring traps out there.
untuk
There's a lot of things
BM
that are
Legacy.
going to be working against you and for you, but now we go into Max as we see VM Legacy striking back. Gotta keep it fast here, but Max has been on fire lately. Is he still
sekarang ni
sitting at 100%
mampukah
right there, Carbon?
Yeah.
Max membuat serangan pantas. Malam mereka membuat serangan dengan agak pantas. Mantap sekali.
Your chances of winning are going to be very difficult because they know that it's going to be a perfect. They have that feeling. So Max is definitely capable of bringing a minute 10, minute 12 type of an attack.
Road
If you're
Rider,
even lower than that,
Leo
that gives
Bayern.
you a huge advantage here in this match. As we are starting with a wall break off to the left, King's going to go right on into there.
Menggunakan
There's
Road Rider
the
di
Root
kawasan
Riders.
bawah
He's
sekarang
taking
ini.
a little bit of a deep breath as he deployed all the
Jauh
troops
spell
so
untuk
far,
King.
and now he's going to continue to push his way
Single
with that
Inferno,
early
menyerang
warning
King sekarang ni,
ability.
terus
Sitting
gunakan
Road
ability,
Champ,
free
popping the
spell
King,
untuk Single
raising up
Inferno.
the single so that the King
Keluarkan
can
isi
continue
Clan
through
Castle.
poison onto the
Lepaskan
Headhunters,
poison
and
untuk
a lot
Headhunter yang
of
keluar.
will stall up this World Champion.
Mega Trap mengusingkan King Kayu di situ. Overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall sekarang ini. 30 saat telah pun berlalu untuk VMAX. Mampukah Max dapatkan serangan pantas? Masa sangat suntuk sebenarnya untuk mereka ini sebagai pro player. Kerana level kompetitif di tahap ini sangat-sangat tinggi. Di War Breaker untuk pecahkan war di kawasan atas. Queen masih ada ability? Tidak ada. Race pass satu saja tinggal. Royal Champion tengah bahaya sekarang ni berada di kawasan Town Hall. Valkyrie diterbangkan oleh Spring Trap. Race pass untuk Valkyrie dapatkan scatter shot. Royal Champion ability laju pergi ke arah kanan sekarang ni. 1 minit 10 saat telah pun berlalu. 13 saat, 14 saat, 15 saat. Oh, sayang sekali Royal Champion perlu mendapatkan Clan Cancer yang berada di kawasan tengah sekarang ni. 1 minit 22 saat untuk VMAX. Sedikit lewat di situ untuk VMAX.
No, it's right about a minute 20, so it's just a few second differential here that these teams are fighting between.
Kenapa player Navi?
Very close war. Like that
Sebab dia Navi,
these
bang.
are razor thin margins here, where only a couple seconds, as one stray building or two can cause something to have to backtrack. We've already seen that. And
Miro
even though
38,
they
thank
did
you
have
for
to
the
backtrack in a couple
Rose.
of these points here, where they just didn't
Mantapan.
quite have the force to finish off every building into an area. They are keeping the attacks there very fast. So they are playing at the highest competitive level as far as the times are clocking in right now. And this is where they need to be. They're both playing at the level that they need to be at. But since they're both there, obviously only one team gets the golden ticket.
Top.
Only one
Mantap.
indeed. Whoever's the quickest.
Riza, terima kasih
with a
follow.
perfect
Lawan ikut
perfect
level
work,
ke?
that is the
Level Town Hall, of
situation,
course.
which is most likely looking how it's going to be because of the teams of what they've done so far. It's been amazing runs. VM Legacy's coming from that upper bracket. Yes, Savage Elite did get knocked down in the lower bracket, but they've earned their spot back here. Both these teams already have a silver ticket, because if you lose, that is what you're going to get. But of course, they're going for that golden ticket. They want to be able to compete later at the end of this year, compete against Sakrana Gaming, who already got it last month, and we do have 2 more
Satu
opportunities
tim borang
for you
5.
at home to try
Masa
to
tu
earn
penentu
a
pemenang ke?
golden ticket.
Level
By
sekarang ni
competing in
memang
the
tahap
June
macam tu lah.
and July Open
Sebab
qualifiers,
diorang ni senang
that's
sangat
where
dapat
you
3
at home
bintang.
can
Jadi
create your own team and say,
tie
you know
breaker
what?
dia adalah
I have
masa.
what it takes. I can
Miro
bring
38, thank you
60-second
untuk
triples with my
TikTok.
team,
Terima kasih.
and we could take them
Terima kasih
down.
support.
Well, you know, the stage is open, so
Alhamdulillah, thank you for
best
support,
of luck
gang.
to you all. But these teams really make a name for themselves because they keep showing up
Jadi
time
Bernau
and
sekarang ni
time
untuk
again.
save
It just
Shili.
proves how good they are.
Si minat betul
And it's always
bilik dia.
impressive
Cantik
to
tu.
me, knowing that literally anybody,
Dah,
every
cantik.
single
Penuh
esports
dengan
team, every single person
barang-barang
who
koleksi.
wants to try to make an esports team signs up for these tournaments and plays. But we still have the same handful of players rising to the top when everybody's put on an equal playing field to begin. And it just goes to show you the skill of these players, that they are able to do this over and over and over. And even after reset, they rise to the top every single time. But here we go. Our defending world champions are back in for more with a slight time advantage.
Ini dia,
Roughly 8 seconds
naga
in
yang
the
dipilih
overall, 4
oleh
seconds on
Bernal.
the average as Bernal
Jai ni
is going
tu,
to shoot a giant
dapatkan
arrow
naik
through
sweeper di
the
situ.
base, and I'm looking for
Terus menggunakan naga daripada kawasan kanan sekarang ini. Terus digunakan wadah ability awal. Tidak ada battle beam ya. Tapi overgrowth dilepaskan. Oh, saya rasa macam terlalu awal overgrowth itu digunakan oleh beliau. Nampak macam overgrowth nak habis dah tu. Jadi free spell untuk scatter shot, free spell untuk naga beliau. King ability terus digunakan. Adakah ini waktu yang tepat sebenarnya? Beliau lepaskan overgrowth sebentar tadi. Satu lagi free spell untuk digunakan sekarang ni di kawasan Town Hall. Habis Semua benda telah boleh letak oleh beliau. Jadi Bernal hanya perlu mengharap pada masa sekarang ni. Pemain ini dapatkan scatter shot. 55 saat telah pun berjalan. Encik mendapatkan Taha sekarang ni. Dapatkan scatter shot pula. Naga terdapatkan storage yang tinggal. Dan Bernal bersorak di situ. Dia dapat 3 bintang dengan masa yang sangat pantas. 1 minit 10 saat mungkin. 10 saat. Saya rasa macam 11-10 saat sebenarnya untuk Bernal. Wow. Jadi 1 minit 10 saat untuk Bernal akan mengurangkan purata masa untuk Savage Elite dan membuatkan VM Legacy menjadi lebih panik mungkin untuk mengejar masa.
Okay, the troops or the overgrowth will eventually disappear when the dragons make it there. He's thinking
Yang bawah
10
kiri tu
steps
caster ke
ahead,
player?
than us, and well done. What an attack
Caster
there.
tak ada
It
kamera
really
kalau
hit
in-game.
Bernal and really
Ini bukan caster.
establishing their dominance
Tapi ni
so
caster
far
orang
in the
putih
grand
lah.
finals. But hey,
Caster
plenty
bahasa
more
Melayu yang
attacks.
original ni
VM Legacy, they
dia
are
malu-malu sikit.
still in this. Just a matter of a few seconds
Dia malu-malu
differential.
sikit
So
kan.
if they bring a very
Sorry
quick
ya.
attack, then they can be
Okey,
right back in
mantap.
and try to tie up the match. But the first 2 attackers that came in, Darkstar
Saya harap
and
one
Max,
day boleh dapat
typically
lah
one of the fastest attackers on their
kan,
team.
official
Now it's up
jadi
to the
official
rest of
caster
them
untuk bahasa
to try
Melayu.
to bring that average
Salah satu
attack
sebab
down.
diorang tak lantik untuk bahasa Melayu. Diorang kata Miro 38 tinggi pada donat. Ambil lagu yang tindih ni. Lama betul tak usik pasal game. Putul-putul lagu betul ni. Saya sambung balik. Salah satu sebab tadi disebabkan e-sport Malaysia ni tak ada. E-sport Malaysia ni tak, diorang tak nampak langsung. Jadi tak ada wakil satu hal. Tak ada terlibat langsung dengan World Championship. Jadi diorang tak lantik lah untuk cover bahasa Melayu. Indo ada sebabkan diorang ada creator dan diorang ada player yang rajin main qualifier bagai agak tinggi juga level diorang punya player. Jadi adalah bahasa Indo tapi untuk Malaysia tak ada. So saya agak kecewa sikit bab tu sebab saya dah try hard untuk di recognize oleh Supercell dalam bab casting ni, tapi sayang sekali tak dapat lah. Disebabkan e-sport Malaysia ni memang tak nampak, dan saya dah try hard untuk naikkan e-sport Malaysia, tapi sokongan tu sangat-sangat hambar. Jadi sekarang ni Sinte untuk VM Legacy. Wow, 29 roket loon dengan 24 minion dengan 5 lightning dan fireball. Akhirnya kita nampak fireball akan digunakan. Mantap sekali. Jadi di manakah fireball akan diletakkan oleh Sinte? Tanpa healer sebenarnya untuk Wader, itu dia. Terus digunakan Genero untuk Queen dapatkan monolith di kawasan atas. Warden ability dan fireball dapatkan Queen. Okey. Respect letakkan sekarang ni untuk Sinte. Sangat-sangat laju strategi dimainkan oleh Sinte sekarang ni. Roket dulu di kawasan bawah dan minion kena lepaskan untuk clean up sebentar lagi. Ada wizard tahu di kawasan bawah. Lepaskan lagi roket loon. KB telah boleh gunakan di kawasan kanan. Tak pastikan fireball boleh gunakan dia, atau sebenarnya spiky ball nak kata. Royal Champion ability di kawasan kiri. Ice Golden keluar untuk mengganggu Royal Champion sekarang ni. Lagi roket loon dimasukkan. 40 saat telah pun berlalu tapi 80% telah pun dihancurkan oleh Sinte. Adakah Sinte dapat bawah 1 minit? Kita akan lihat. Queen dapatkan scatter shot. Roket loon mengejar Facebook ground sekarang ni. 8 saat lagi tinggal untuk beliau. Dan beliau dapat 1 minit. Seriously? 1 minit? 1 minit. Oh tidak, lebih sedikit. 1 minit 2 saat. Wow, Sinte 1 minit 2 saat dengan menggunakan 29 roket loon, 24 mini dan juga fireball untuk Warden. Wow, itu dia Sinte untuk VM Legacy. Saya rasa cukup untuk membuatkan VM Legacy leading dari segi purata masa.
It looks like that might be one of the fastest strategies that they could be bringing now, and not bringing the Root Riders and Valkyries. What
Sangat-sangat pantas Serangan multitasking daripada Sinte. Queen atas, Warden kiri, King kanan, Royal Champion kiri. Lepas tu Rocket Loon pak masuk. Oh.
You don't have to take out the enemy heroes. Those can stay up. All you have to do in an attack to get a 3-star is remove every single
guys.
building. That is it.
Gila betul dia punya attack. Ya. Easy betul dapat 3 star. Ya. Sebab sekarang diorang punya level ni bukan dapat 3 star. Diorang kena attack bawah seminit setengah. Ataupun kalau tahap sekarang ni kita nampak dekat match ni, diorang kena attack bawah 1 minit 10 saat untuk menang. Sebab korang tengok purata masa sekarang ni bawah 1 minit 20 saat. Memang sangat-sangat laju. Korang tak ada masa nak perhati truk dengan hero korang buat apa. Korang kena plan betul-betul. Okay, King kau nak pergi mana, kau kena set-siap. King kau nak pergi mana, King kau kena buat apa, King kau kena ambil apa, truk kau kena buat apa. Memang GG. Kalau lebih kira kalah ke, boleh jadi macam tu aku. Sebab akan menambahkan purata masa jadi banyak dan berkemungkinan besar kalah disebabkan purata masa banyak. Sebab enemy akan buat serangan pantas.
Queen in the process, so he took her down so that since there's no enemy queen, the Rocky Loons can continue to move through and don't have to worry
fireball
about
daripada
taking her out.
Sinte sangat-sangat kemantapan.
Dan
sekarang ni Lupi untuk Savage Shield. Boleh replay ke? Sekejap lagi kita tengok. Kalau ada replay kita tengok. Sebab ini production punya live ni, saya bukan saya yang punya live. Okay, saya cover untuk bahasa Melayu.
Established, and now the lead is obviously threatened right here as they move so incredibly fast.
Jadi yang mana belum follow, kalau korang minat SOC, korang boleh follow saya guys. Okay.
So they got their work cut out for them, but Loop is getting ready for the next attack here as he will return fire against Sinte. And we'll see if our defending world champions can
UG
force
Tadori,
the
thank you for
bracket
follow.
reset.
Miro 38, thank you for follow.
Right now, look at the average attack time. 1 minute and 14 seconds to 1 minute and 14 seconds. Sinte delivers, and now the pressure's on.
Lupi menggunakan naga sekarang ni. Queen kawasan bawah sama dengan King. No breaker untuk masukkan King, dapatkan Queen daripada naga dengan Rage Spell dan Water ability digunakan oleh Biao. Sementara sisi Berek telah pun dilepaskan di kawasan atas. Punya dua PK di situ. Break lagi untuk King. Masuk di kawasan Monolith. Dibantu oleh Queen. Overgrow di kawasan Tower sekarang ni. Free spell mati Tower sekarang ni di kawasan tengah. Sebelum keluar dari sisi Berek. 2 free spell, 1 poison tinggal untuk Biao. Free spell mati Tower. Race spell lepas oleh Biao untuk memastikan Water dapat diselamatkan oleh Biao. Nampaknya mati Funo akan membunuh Water di situ. Queen ability digunakan untuk dapatkan Monolith. Race Tower Hall sekarang ini. Tidak ada race spell untuk digunakan. Freeze lagi sekali tidak kena pada Town Hall. Royal Champion tidak ada ability sebenarnya. Adakah 1 bintang untuk Lupi sekarang? Dia bahaya untuk Lupi. Royal Champion mati. Lupi 1 bintang untuk Lupi. Sayang sekali. Savage Elite di mana mereka sekarang ni sedang menyamai kedudukan dari segi purata masa seperti anda boleh lihat di bahagian total score. Jadi serangan ini mungkin akan memberikan VM Legacy nafas yang sangat-sangat lega dan perlu untuk dapatkan sekurang-kurangnya 2 bintang untuk satu serangan sekurang-kurangnya. Jadi Sinte dapat menggunakan base yang sangat kemantapan di situ untuk menafikan serangan Lupi. Ya apa ni SOC mencipta rekod siapa? Nice defend, ya. 1 star. Minat SOC tapi tak pandai attack, baru comeback. Baby NU, tak apa, jangan risau. Boleh follow saya untuk tengok tips-tips dan sharing gameplay. InsyaAllah saya akan cuba rajin upload lah. Saya banyak upload dekat YT lah selalu. Halo MF, selamat datang. Jadi sekarang ini peluang sangat-sangat cerah untuk VM Legacy untuk menamatkan perjalanan mereka. dalam qualifier ni untuk dapatkan golden ticket. Jadi mereka tidak perlu menukar kepada combo ataupun menggunakan combo masa. Mereka hanya perlu bertukar ke arah combo yang boleh mendapatkan 3 bintang dengan mudah ataupun jamin 3 bintang, supaya tidak perlu mengejar masa dan tidak perlu terciduk. Itu sebab spell tak kena Town Hall. Kalau kena Town Hall tu boleh 2 star, tapi 2 star pun tak cukup sebenarnya. Bahaya. Jadi sekarang ni VM Legacy akan tukar combo. Saya rasa mungkin untuk menggunakan combo 3 bintang. Jadi saya tak pasti sama ada Ninja akan tukar. Biro 38, thank you for the GG. Kemantapan. Jadi Ninja, one of the creative attacker juga sejak keluar tahun 16 yang agak top dalam scene kompetitif ni. Upper ke lower Grand Final. Download kat mana? Play Store. Jadi dia Ninja akan menggunakan trup yang sama. Beliau tidak ada masa mungkin untuk tukar trup. Jadi Ninja akan dapatkan 3 bintang di sini saya rasa. Ataupun bagaimana, kita akan lihat. Queen kawasan kiri, King kawasan bawah. Keluarkan isi Clan Castle, Lava Hound dan juga Headhunter. Poison dilepaskan di situ untuk Headhunter yang mengejar King. Juga Wader dimasukkan daripada kawasan kiri. Sama dengan Road Rider, 2 Headhunter terdapatkan. King defensif di situ. Dia telah boleh gunakan. Dapatkan Eagle, Sis Barrett di kawasan kanan. Warbreaker untuk masukkan PK di kawasan scatter shot. Overgrowth akan digunakan di mana, itu dia. Overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall dan juga Invis Spell Tower. Sementara itu Royal Champion perlu dilepaskan lagi setakat ini, ataupun telah masuk di kawasan bawah sebenarnya. Rider pergi di kawasan atas, akan bersama dengan Queen. Headhunter cuba untuk dapatkan lava pop yang keluar ataupun dipecahkan oleh dipecahkan daripada Lava Hound sendiri. 1 jump spell, 2 freeze, 1 rage spell. Dia tidak guna jump spell setakat ini. Akan sweat jump spell. Wow, nice attack daripada Ninja di situ untuk membuatkan VM Legacy mendahului dengan penuh bergaya. Mantap sekali. Nguyen An, thank you for follow. Dan Ninja berjaya untuk meletakkan VM Legacy di depan sekarang ini. Dengan 1 minit 19 saat secara purata ataupun serangan beliau ini membuatkan 1 minit 15 saat secara purata untuk VM Legacy sebenarnya. Stay tune guys, Selinio mungkin akan memberikan kejutan untuk serangan terakhir. Kita akan lihat adakah serangan pantas dilakukan oleh Selinio atau bagaimana. Selinio lawan dengan Fluxy, Fluxy akan lawan dengan Selinio mungkin.
Will not have an impact on the outcome of the war here. So they have to triple this, take whatever time they need, and make sure that they secure it. But Fluxy will be on defense here as Selinio goes in with the Dragons, and once again the Overgrowth.
Itu dia Selinio memulakan serangan naga beliau dengan memulakan super buff untuk Fana di kawasan kiri. Dan Stone Slammer digunakan daripada Rajam 10. Dan naga dimasukkan daripada kawasan kiri. King masuk di celah wall yang terbuka di kompartmen bawah. Terus digunakan Water Ability, Healing Tome dan Respell di kawasan Eagle. King ability sekarang ni untuk Kim dapatkan Queen defensif mungkin. Yup. Overgrowth Town Hall sekarang ini. Selinio fokus di situ untuk cuba mendapatkan bintang sebanyak mungkin. Nampaknya King tidak dapatkan Queen defensif di situ. Sayang sekali. Queen ability digunakan di kawasan bawah. King keluarkan Ice Golem daripada Clan Castle. Super Dragon keluar daripada Stone Slammer untuk dapatkan Royal Champion defensif.
Yeah, with the Dragons coming to the top side, you're gonna have to wait for that
Dan
overgrowth to
sekaligus
disappear.
boleh
As
mendapatkan
the
value
Dragons do get pulled
yang
to this
berdekatan
ice
dengan Roy
golem
Champion,
here,
iaitu scatter shot.
unfortunately.
Race
He
spell
goes
untuk
with
naga beliau,
freeze,
cuba
and we
dapatkan
do
Town
have
Hall
a
sekarang
Super
ini.
Dragon, and that was probably
Free spell
inside
lagi
that
sekali
Stone
terlepas.
Slimer.
Oh, sayang
So
sekali.
he's now doing
Tapi
some
beliau
work
masih ada
there,
Royal
have to get
Champion
through this
sekurang-kurangnya
tower.
untuk
Freeze
dapatkan
up,
Town Hall.
missed
Terus
the
berusaha
Town
BT
Hall
Royal
yet
Champion di
again.
kawasan kanan sekarang ni. Poison untuk Royal Champion dan 3 bintang untuk Selinho dengan 1 minit 26 saat di situ. Jadi Selinho perlu mengharapkan defense mereka boleh untuk membuatkan ataupun memberikan peluang untuk mereka cuba mendapatkan golden ticket, tapi peluang itu sangat-sangat tipis sebenarnya untuk Savage Elite. TRT, thank you for the follow. Dan serangan terakhir untuk malam ini mungkin kalau habis lah. Jadi serangan terakhir untuk VM Legacy dalam Grand Final.
Well,
Fluxy.
all you gotta do is get a
Padu dia final.
star.
Dia pakai overgrowth untuk final. Yes, memang itu meta dia. Letak overgrowth dekat tengah-tengah attack untuk buatkan tu pusing dulu, lepas tu datang balik. Ni macam pergi shopping kan, lepas tu kita gambar kedai tu kejap, dia datang balik. Jadi Fluxy menggunakan combo rider di sini, flame flinger di kawasan bawah. Jadi seperti yang saya kata, mereka tidak perlu kejar masa. Jadi Queen Charge Road Rider sebenarnya yang dipilih oleh Fluxy di sini. Saya rasa beliau sempat tukar combo ni. Okey, dia tukar di hujung-hujung ataupun di lewat permainan ataupun perlawanan supaya Fluxy boleh fokus untuk dapatkan 2 bintang sahaja untuk mengesahkan kemenangan mereka. Town Hall 1 star dah dapat, jadi 1 lagi bintang untuk mengesahkan golden ticket milik VM Legacy. Kini di kawasan kanan, nampak gaya peluang sangat-sangat cerah untuk Fluxy dapatkan 3 bintang ataupun sekurang-kurangnya 2 bintang di sini. 43%, 44, 46 dan 1 lagi %, 50, dan itu dia golden ticket untuk VM Legacy. Dan Fluxy masih lagi fokus sekarang ni untuk cuba dapatkan 3 bintang mungkin. Hit Hunter untuk dapatkan Queen Defensive sekarang ni. Ada 1 lagi race spell untuk digunakan, 2 free spell. Queen cuba masuk di kawasan dalam sekarang ni. Invis Tower di unlock oleh Queen, mantap sekali. King telah pun mati. Flame Flinger masih lagi hidup, dapatkan multi Edge Tower sekarang ni. Royal Champion ability, race spell lepaskan. 1 minit 10 saat tinggal untuk beliau. Free spell scatter shot untuk selamatkan minion, dan juga Hot Rider dan Fluxy dapat 3 bintang kemantapan untuk menamatkan perjalanan mereka dalam Qualifier untuk World Championship, dan golden ticket berjaya dimenangi oleh VM Legacy. Jadi itu dah dia finalis kedua untuk tahun ini dalam World Championship, iaitu VM Legacy. Mantap sekali. Adik Razila, thank you for follow. Afiq, terima kasih follow. Thank you for support guys. Jadi 2 minit 16 saat untuk Fluxy, tapi tidak mengapa, kerana mereka telah pun mendapat defense yang baik dan mereka hanya perlu kejar masa sahaja. Jadi Savage Elite mendapat silver ticket. Jadi sekurang-kurangnya Savage Elite ada peluang untuk bermain di last chance qualifier nanti dalam Snapdragon punya tournament. Dan juga untuk tim-tim lain termasuk dengan Savage Elite, mereka juga boleh bermain di qualifier bulan depan.
Showed why they went from the upper bracket, did not lose, and kept winning. What a performance!
Ahsan, terima kasih follow.
When we were out in Poland and we gave away the golden tickets last year, they were a lot bigger. They were a lot bigger. So you need to go work on that.
I need to
get a much bigger one there because it's okay. It's okay. We'll let him cook
thank you
there
for
and get some
follow.
more golden tickets printed out
Jadi ini
there.
dia highlight
Send out to these
untuk
teams. My goodness,
perlawanan
wow,
Grand Final.
that is That's an insane run from them. And I think the VM Legacy, I think for a lot of people, was the favorite to go into this competition. I think a lot of people were saying when they were looking at the two teams that won and came in through the upper bracket of stage 2 of the competition, it was VM Legacy and early attacks. And now we see VM Legacy take it. And we talked about it so much there as VM Legacy has
Jadi kalau korang play SOC guys, kalau korang minat konten-konten SOC, korang boleh follow saya guys. Okay. Dan kalau korang ada YT, korang boleh subscribe YT saya guys. Okay, sekarang kita dah 4k subscriber, kita menuju ke 5k subscriber guys. Okay. Dan itu dia result untuk perlawanan Grand Final untuk VM Legacy, menang dengan perfect war dan juga dapat defend 1 star situ. Habis dah, habis. Ni Grand Final lah ni. Untuk qualifier ni. Untuk qualifier bukan World Championship punya Grand Final.
In their initial drop down to lower bracket and then their elimination here. So very unfortunate, but man,
ada bintang kat tepi.
Absolutely deserving
orang lain tak apa pun
MVP right now, Carbon.
Indeed, 59% of the vote right
Lepas
there.
tu star yang tu star dan City menjadi MVP untuk match ni. Tapi memang deserve lah. Dia punya attack tu orang padu je dia. Dengan Rocket Loon, dengan Fireball, mantap lah. Mantap teruk guys.
Wow, what a performance coming in from VM Legacy. And they will be coming back at the end of this year.
1 minit berapa sangat tadi guys.
I'm just
laju kat attack dia kan.
shocked from what they did. They brought in, yes, Root Riders, Valks, but they also brought different attack strategies, and I can't wait to see how are they going to be able now to play in for Worlds, because that is what they're going to be focused on. They don't have to play in any future qualifier. They can relax and really break it down. But I'm hearing that we now have an interview with the one and only Fluxy of VM Legacy. So let's go ahead and welcome Fluxy here and congratulate him on winning this golden ticket. So once that interview is ready, we'll bring it there. And just Eric, this is just an incredible job from them.
Yeah, but like you were saying, their job is. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got Fluxy. We'll talk about that in a second. Fluxy, how you doing? How you feeling after that win?
Yeah, very good. It's nice to see all the time and effort pay off. And yeah, time to celebrate.
Time to celebrate indeed. You will be heading back to the World Finals. You have experience on the big stage. So now you have experience along with Cynthia, and a lot of the other players have experience on stages before. But what are you going to do to prepare for the World Finals?
Well, I guess we'll see how the meta changes. It's a long time, so I think if we prepare similarly to the way we did today, I think, or the past weeks, I think we'll have a good chance.
Yeah, that's always a very difficult thing to prepare for something that's far away, because we don't know where the meta is going to go here. So, I mean, now VM Legacy is in a very, very strong position where you're going to now have a lot of eyes on you. How does the pressure of getting the golden ticket here now affect your other tournaments as we play and continue to practice for the World Championship?
Well, I don't think it changes much. I mean, we believe that we're definitely one of the favorites to get a gold ticket. Now we've done that. That's our first goal done, but we have more goals. We're not stopping here. Just, yeah, I think World Finals is the biggest thing.
Absolutely, the biggest goal that you're going for. You got that golden ticket. You'll be able to fight for that at the end of this year. But I am curious about your preparation for this match, for this tournament this weekend. How many hours were you guys on voice practicing over the last week, over the last month? Walk us through the preparation that you guys did to get this golden ticket.
Yeah, a lot of hours. I think we had most of our bases ready, about between 20 and 40, I think, before stage 2 ended. And then the last week, I think all of us have been over 10 hours a day screen time, probably 7-8 hours a day on voice. It's, yeah, a lot. So I'm glad that it's over now.
I got one last question for you. How much time of that match did you spend trying to talk Cynthia out of doing that crazy plan? Because that was insane. And any final thoughts there, or any final shout-outs for anybody you want to give out?
Well, he said the plan quite early, and all of us just said yes. Yeah, we trust him. We saw the plan as well. It makes sense. And I mean, that hit turned the war, I think. I think without that, the war might look different.
Yeah.
Any final shout outs?
I mean, shout out to everyone. I mean, I had all of us had a lot of support, lots of messages. Base building team, the scouting, the managers, the organization, like, everyone. Honestly, thank you a lot. I don't think it'd be possible without all of you.
Well, again, congratulations to you and VM Legacy for earning the second golden ticket here in the May monthly finals. I cannot wait to see you guys in the World Championship later at the end of this year. And I can't wait to see what you guys do in local and community tournaments throughout the rest of this year leading up to that. You guys are going to bring so many amazing attacks, so many amazing attack strategies, teaching us so much. So again, huge congratulations and wish you guys the best of luck. So let's go ahead and now welcome back Itzu and Woody here. And it's just what a weekend of amazing wars that we had. And VM Legacy going all the way from the upper bracket, continuing to win. It just, they put on an amazing performance. Itzu, what was your thoughts so far?
I mean, if there is some player...
Okay. Macam mana punya ni? Oh ni. Oh je. Dah buka. Alright. Take a while guys. Tak tahu lah kalau korang minat tengok ke tak. Aku just set je. Aku tak payah masuk tournament pun dapat 2 guys. Cik puyuh ayat dah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Ini semua daripada Tuhan, daripada Allah. Dan apa saja yang berlaku yang berlagak, alhamdulillah. Easy. Macam mana guys? 1 minit 40 saat. 1 minit 46 7 46 saat. Biasa aku tak ada debu kan. Alamak. Apa susah mesej si banyak kacang jauh. Okey, yang ni susah sikit lah. Sini penuh Let's go. Padu tak guys? Padu tak itu? Apa? Padu tak? Aku jenguk-jenguk sekejap tu settle lah. 1 minit 27 saat kan? Aku punya level Dizzy Sport kan? Aduh yai. Benda lah game ni. GG. Padu mak ai. Padulah mak you. Mak dia padu guys. Memang padu lah. Sebab tu aku malas attack war. Bosan. Aduh ya, serius. Aku malas attack war sebab tu lah, bosan. Serius. Aduh, bukan nak belagak ke apa, tapi memang ngantuk lah. Duk main teruk sama je. Bila CG habis aku tak main lagi. Saya lebih. Combo top 14 tanpa pack hero tak match lagi apa? Pakai drag lah bang. Pakai drag jangan target 3 star. Nama pun tak di hero kan. Kalau war tu susah nak 3 bintang. Just target 2 star je lah. Kita target base ni. Kita terus attack Kita buat challenge terus attack Harap-harap jadi guys. Let's go. Bismillah. Aku tak tengok lagi base ni. Alamak. Alamak. Base ini. Alamak, rata lagi rata lagi rata lagi rata lagi rata macam Besta lagi salah saya dah push Legends tak kenal habis lagi cetek je. Alamak. GG. Tidaklah serangan pantas kan, tapi janji 3 bintang. Aduh guys. Janji 3 bintang guys. Apa susah? Padu kemantapan. Kita dah buat challenge tak tengok base kan, tak scout base. Mantap lah guys. Kita buat macam legend attack dia sekali-sekali. Cari persen rendah jap. 69 atau 13 tanah. Tadi ni je aku nampak 60 lebih ni. 68 okey. Mini Jack Sparrow. Mari kita buat lagi sekali. Muhammad, thank you for the follow. Let's go. Alright. Sisi kat atas. Terus please settle. Alamak, rata lagi. Kita terrata lagi. Mantap kan? Mantap guys. Alhamdulillah. Apa-apa buat alhamdulillah. Betul. Betul kaki dah kita. Hebat, alhamdulillah. Mantap. King ni kau tak payah guna masuk dengan truk kau guys. King ni kau guna kau korban ke dia. Itu je kunci dia. Saya dah upload tutorial dekat YT ya guys. Siapa yang nak explain lebih dalam, sharing lebih dalam, korang tengok YT saya. Saya share tentang CWL saya. Okay. Alright, kalau korang nak tengok apakah rahsia saya attack CWL macam ni punya result. Alright. Result macam ni. Okay. See. Saya ada 4 ID saya main, 1 je tak rata. 1 je saya tak rata. Yang lain semua saya rata. So, ya. Selepas itu apa ya, saya newbie clan Walik. Awal bulan, setiap awal bulan main clan Walik bang. Tengok opponent. Champion, mantap. Alhamdulillah. Nah, kita ada rider kat daripada ni dengan 2 overall spell. Sangkut ada kat tengah tu lama-lama, pisang ada. Sebab tu dia masuk belakang town hall. Split 2 pisang. Hilang tu dekat sini. Confirm. Wadah datang. Wadah ni nampak cabi tu. Montel wadah ni. Wadah montel. Overgrowth. Dia tak overgrowth eagle. Bengong. Patutnya overgrowth eagle lah. dia akan hadapi masalah lah aku rasa. Aku tak rasa macam 3 bintang ni sebab ada spare tower lagi ni. Sekali shot pun ada lagi. Dia ability dia max ni. Mungkin boleh ikut 3 bintang. Boleh kot. Maybe lah. Dia ada ability lagi. DJI Chiron. Menang lah opponent ni. Nak beli apa tak tahu ni. Entahlah. Kita jumpa lagi guys. Kita jumpa lagi guys. Okay, insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.